here to put on for Black girls. I'm representing Black women in this space.
I know who I can work with, who I can, rely on, who I can collab with, who's willing to collab with me. This is only my second drink in, so I'm still mad. Cleo is a problem. Yes. Listen. Whatever step you're at, always have your next step in mind.
It's been awesome, specifically for reasons like this. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like it can really change your experience. Oh my gosh!
Storymodebae! Let's dive into that, because that was why we were here.
Yes, sir.
We got history. We be talking all the time about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I did not get to see you much this past weekend.
I know. It was busy.
It was busy. It was, not only that, the place is huge. And we could not, bro, I'm not even gonna get into that. I want to ask you, give a brief rundown of like what your weekend was like being there.
Let me tell you, I put it like this. It started off horrible. Me and Nessa were like, oh, if they're gonna keep this in Houston, I am not going back, because I don't know if anybody in chat from Houston. That shit is ghetto. Houston is so ghetto. Houston is ghetto, and listen, I love me a good ghetto. I am front of ghetto. That shit's a whole different level of ghetto. You hear me? Like, that is a different ghetto, child. It's like, so, okay. I worked Monday through Wednesday. And so, mind you, the weekend before that, I had MomoCon in Atlanta. So I streamed at MomoCon on Sunday, drove back home to Charleston on Sunday afternoon, worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then had to pack and be ready to go by Thursday morning.
Jeez.
So I was up to like 3 a.m. packing. And at like 8:30 a.m., the person who we booked through for the Airbnb, they messaged me and they were like, oh, the spot's not available anymore. The day of. Spot's not available anymore. But we got another spot. That's in the same vicinity. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck am I supposed to do? It's the day of. I don't have no other options. Like, the money I spent is gonna take too long to get it back, and we still won't have a place to stay. So we gotta do something. And so I said, all right, fuck it, just give me the spot. And so we left. And we parked the car and everything. We went through the airport, got checked in, and I made sure to eat breakfast. I ate while I was at the airport, and I had a drink at the airport. Nessa had a drink with me. Vanessa ass didn't eat. So we went the entire day traveling, and then we get there and she was like starting to feel a little woozy, because Nessa will like go so long without eating and just she'll get sick. So it's like, we get to the airport. I guess everybody else decided to fly in that day too at that very time.
Was that Wednesday?
Because we get it Thursday.
Oh, okay.
It was so many people in there, and it was Thursday afternoon. And see, normally we'll come Wednesday to like be settled by Thursday. Like we just go pick up our badges and go kick it. But we were trying to be fiscally responsible this year. When I tell you, we got to the airport, it was so packed, and we were in the baggage terminal. And it's like when we finally found it, we got there and it was like, okay, our bags are on carousel 2. So we waited at carousel 2 for like 30 minutes. Like, where are our bags at? They come over to intercom and they're like, oh, you guys are going to be on carousel 3. So we all moved to carousel 3, wait another 15 minutes. Sorry, guys, you're actually on carousel 2. So we're like,
bruh.
We got to hurry up and still make it to registration to get these badges. Nessa's about to pass the fuck out. So like, it's like, come on, man. So we finally get our bags and we got to catch a shuttle to Enterprise to get the rental car. We get to Enterprise, ain't nobody inside the building. So it's like, now we're waiting. So all of this has happened. Cindy calls us, yeah, the Airbnb, it's okay on the inside, but it's the hood outside. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I could do hood, it's fine. Child, we got there, it was fucking junkies, like, on each corner. The place was like, just, it was old. Like, you walk in and the wood was definitely in there, like on the hardwood floors and the stairs. That wood has definitely been there since like 1930. Ooh. And you can smell it.
Oh.
So we come in, then we had to go up 3 flights of stairs with our bags. So it's just like, we get in there, mind you, the rental I booked, 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, a swimming pool, a fence, a closed yard. That's what we booked. What they gave us was like a fucking attic with a living room, 2 futons in the living room, a little kitchenette, a bedroom on the side, and then a bigger bedroom with a little bed inside of a closet. That was the 3rd bedroom. I said, oh, y'all got me fucked up.
That said it looked like Foster's Home for Imaginary.
Exactly. Yes. And so I was just like, okay, because when we left Enterprise, because Nessa was supposed to drive, we get ready to leave. They got to let you out. So the arm is down, but nobody's in the booth. And it's like, what are we doing here? So we finally get to leave. And I'm like, okay, we can run and grab our badges real quick. Because at this point, it's like 7 o'clock. So we can grab our badges real quick. But Nessa needed to eat because she was about to get sick. So we stopped and grabbed food. We were like, you know what? And I was supposed to go to the YouTube creator event. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go to the Airbnb. I'll try to get ready for YouTube and then we'll go. By the time I got the YouTube ended at 9. By the time we got settled, it was 8. I was like, there's no point. But when we got in that place, I called a couple of my friends. We've been gaming since the beginning, Smokey and Fish and them. And so they came this year. And it was like, all right, let me call them and see what they're doing because I'm not staying in this house. I was like, we finna be outside tonight because I'll be damned if I sit up in here. I'm gonna be mad and depressed and upset. I don't even think I could sleep in this place. So I was like, you know what? Okay, let's go outside. And so Sydney was like, let's get some food. So we go get some food. And then they didn't have no linens in the place. They didn't have no cups. They didn't have no silverware. So it was like, we got to go to a dollar store now and get some towels and washcloths and shit. We get to a Family Dollar after, because Sydney was like, I need some food. Take her to McDonald's. And then we go to the Family Dollar in the area. When I tell you...
What it look like?
I went to go park the car. It was some dude outside collecting cash for parking. I was like, bitch, I gotta pay to park at the Family Dollar. He was like, no, this is for the club across the street. I was like, well, I'm not going there. I'm going to Family Dollar. He was like, well, they got some spaces back there. I said, okay, I'll back up and park over there because you got me twisted if you think I'm about to pay to park to go to Family Dollar. We pull in a parking spot. There's little children like filming a TikTok video or something, shooting toy guns at each other, and they're just blocking the door.
Lord.
And I'm just like, they're in the parking space, they're blocking the door, and I'm like, beep, beep, moo turn, you know.
Moo turn.
Pull in, next thing they take off and they just running across the street. And I'm like, oh my God, where are your parents? I was like, you know what? It's the hood. This is what happens. It's all good. So we go inside and like, nobody's working the fucking register. It's like one person, but then this one lady, it was a little person, and she was struggling to get her card payment to go through for some reason. And so we were waiting. And then somebody else came. They're like, I could take you right here. The lady in front of me, she goes, excuse me. And I was like, this is not my home. This is not my home. She was waiting. This ain't my home. Cause child, I don't even know this shit. All right, so we get the stuff and go. It was so stink outside too. We got there. It's like, you know, this is like a culmination of piss from multiple different people just in the. And so I was like,
a melting piss pot?
What?
No way.
When I tell you, I was like, this is about to be the worst weekend ever. But I was like, I can't even think about that right now because we still had so much prepping to do for the B.
Right.
Because I hadn't had a chance to do much because I've been working. So like, okay, I can't focus on this. Like I have to just, you know, like it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We're only here for a couple days. And so we ended up going and hanging out with our guys at their Airbnb for a little bit. And I hit up a friend and I was like, I just want you to know, I think Houston is ass. It sucks, you know? And they were like, what happened? I told them all about it. I was like, this place is the worst. Like, and so he was like, oh, well, I got an extra room. Like, do you want my key card? I was like, I don't even give a fuck where you're staying. Yes, please give it. We can share a bed. I don't care. And so we end up meeting up with them to get the hotel key. And then it was like, we were hanging out with the boys. It was like 11:30. I was like, hey, y'all, we got to go get this key. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm not spending one night in this place. Like, we need to go get this key so we can start packing and take all our shit and go. And so we went, met them, got the key, went back, packed up. And then by the time we got into the room, it was probably about 1:30 in the morning. This is now Friday morning. Now, the room was amazing. Oh my God, you would think I walked into heaven. The comparison Step straight out of hell, walk straight into heaven. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And we ain't even made it to the Dreamcon day yet. Just to FYI, this is day 0.
Day 0. This is us just getting to Houston. We were all like, if they're gonna keep having it here, I'm not coming back. This is crazy. But the experience totally transformed after we got to that hotel. Because boy, when I tell you, so Friday morning, I want to say, because we still had to get badges. And the thing that upset me was, so I had 2 badges. I had the panelist badge, and then I also had the creator badge this year. But there was 2 separate lines. Remember, I was trying to find out where it was.
Yeah, you did text me about that.
So mind you, Friday, I'm hosting the community volleyball tournament, and then I have Dageecheegamer, and then I have Same Brain. So it's like, we got to get up and eat breakfast. What's up, Blazing Zero?
What up, Blazing Zero?
Got to get up and eat breakfast. But we so tired. We were so relieved to be in that bed at this nice hotel. So we were just moving slow. It was like a little bit of life got taken from us that night. So it was like, okay, we're gonna go eat. And so we got breakfast and everything. And then, no, we didn't even eat yet. So we were like, what we'll do is we'll just get something to eat at the convention center. Cause we were like, there was no like fast food spots or anything in that area. It was like right downtown. There was no fast food spots in that area or nothing like that. So we really just had to just thug it out. And so we were like, look,
yeah, because I was down there too. There was nothing like that.
There was nothing. We seen like 2 Chick-fil-A's on the map, and there was no way to get to them. They were just like tucked away in some buildings or something. I don't know.
We had a great Uber driver that showed us a couple of spots to get some quick food.
Yeah.
We went there the entire weekend. I'll tell you about that in a minute, though. You go ahead and show bar.
So we get to the convention center, we park. And I want to say we left again at one point because, we had to go back to the other Airbnb because we left something. So we had to go back, get that, and then come back and park again. So we paid $60 for one day.
Jesus Christ.
To park. But we got out there and it was like, they didn't have nothing inside the convention center. We had to go to the Marriott to get the panelist badges. There was no separate line for that this year. So it's like, I had to go wait in the line. That long line. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss the freaking panel waiting in this line. And some people were saying they sit in that line 2-4 hours to get their badges.
I didn't see some of my friends.
I will say, I think they did as good a job as they could, the volunteers and stuff, to just kind of keep things moving smoothly. They definitely seemed like there was more order this year than there have been in previous years. But
thank you.
Still, it was so many people. Yes, no, y'all did it this year. Y'all did a great job this year. But it's just the process in general. It's like there's only so much to be done, which is why I usually come on Wednesdays. So first thing Thursday, I'm in that line to get my stuff. But never again. But I got my panelist badge, and then I couldn't figure out where to get the creator badge. So we were just hiking for like most of that first day. But me, I'm a line finesser. So, I didn't wait too long in any of the lines.
You do be doing
But
that.
I finally got my creator badge. It just took me so long to figure out where the hell to go. By the time we got to that shit, I was like, you know what? Let's go find some food. And then we end up sitting with the food trucks. We had the was it egg rolls or empanadas or something like that? They had a food truck that had like it was like meat pies or empanadas or egg rolls or something, but it was really good.
I ain't spent no time outside, so I had no idea.
I had like a brisket. It was like a brisket mac and cheese empanada, like a barbecue brisket mac and cheese empanada. That shit was so good. Let me tell you. The panelist badges were where you would get the regular badges, which was in the hotel. But then the creator badges was in the convention center, which is kind of crazy because how am I supposed to get to that? Where they had it, it's like, how do I even get there without having a badge? You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of weird. And it was like in such a random, obscure place. It wasn't no place obvious. It was like where you...
in the middle of the first floor, right? At that big red table?
No.
Oh, they moved it?
So when I went, it was like, if you go all the way to the end where that grotto restaurant was, it was like in a corner, like tucked away to the left of that. I just happened to turn the corner. And there was a dude standing in front of a door, and I was like, where am I supposed to go? And he was like, oh yeah, just right around that corner. Fuck was I supposed to know that's where I was supposed to go? I got no signage or nothing. Like, oh my gosh. Finally
they wanted to keep that like under wraps, because I know on Thursday, nobody was allowed into the convention center. And
right.
we had, I mean, security was like on some other stuff because one of them wouldn't even let Cleo's mama go into like the exhibition hall while it was being built up. And it's like I was walking with him and everything, and he was like, well, yo, chill. Like, this is my mom. Like, what do you mean she can't go in? But it's like all the creator badges and like the talent badges and stuff. There was a big red table in the middle of the first floor where everybody was coming in to get that. So if you were there Thursday, you might have been able to get it there.
Probably. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get in there early enough, and that was the issue. Hold on, this crazy ass song just popped up.
Jetpack Jeff, what's going on, man?
What up, Jefferson? The jetpackiest of Jeffersons. The packiest of Jeffs. My boy did. I don't know what that means because it's only showing a piece of the emojis.
I see
fire and what's that? An onion?
I don't know what that's.
That little blank one that shows up like when you're not on the iPhone, right?
He said me. Thank you. I don't know what I did, but thank you.
But yeah, so once we got the badges and everything, it was really like, I always try to, hit the exhibit hall that first day and find the LAN party booth so I could start the electric slide. I didn't even get to do the electric slide this year.
Oh, dang.
I was so hurt. I didn't get to do the electric slide. And then, there was that one main room, I guess, where they had the after party, at the official after parties, that big room where the DJ was spinning the first day. So yeah, we went in there and, we were just kind of walking around. I was like, just kind of trying to catch my breath. And then I started having to track people down because I had a badge for Kareem. So Kareem hit me, was like, hey, you got the badge or whatever. And this was his first Dreamcon. So he was just kind of like, what do I do? I did like the little spirit tunnel. They had like the spirit tunnel with the cheerleaders kind of lining it. So like when you walked into that room, they were like just kind of hyping you up and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was really cool. And then, I had a moment to dance. The DJ was really good. I felt like that DJ was really good. But I didn't stay in there long because it was like, now I got to figure out where to go for this volleyball game. And so now Tokyo and me are like, do you know where we're supposed to go? Tokyo's like, I don't have a clue. And I'm like, great. All right, well. And so I just keep on like searching like through the app, which is constantly being updated throughout the weekend.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm searching. I'm like, okay, it says to the third floor, but I get to the third floor and all of a sudden it was like this big cafeteria. And I was like, well, it's not in here. So then I went back down and then I realized there was like a whole other like side of the building. I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's in. And then I saw all the other, rooms and stuff where they were doing the sports arena and stuff like that. So I got up in there and everything. And mind you, I'm in my pimp named Slickback cosplay this whole time. So like, I got this sticky goatee on my chin and this mustache and I'm sweating in this 3-piece suit all day.
So you were at the volleyball game?
Not the all-star one. I was at the community one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was hosting. Me and Tokyo, we co-hosted that one and commentated.
Oh,
and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining. And I hope
thank you for the follow.
I do hope they let us do it again. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because I had a great time. And I was like, I feel like my talents are being wasted here. There's not enough people in this room to watch me act a fool like this. Like, especially with this, I didn't put this goatee and mustache on for nothing. Like, people should be seeing this.
Right.
What up, John? So yeah, but we did that. It was pretty well put together. From a production side of things, it always gets tricky, right? Because when you're in the audience, you see one thing, but when you're behind the scenes, it's usually a shit show. And you don't see all the other stuff that's happening. There's audio's not working, mic's not working, something's missing, somebody didn't show up where they were supposed to, you know what I'm saying? And so it was a little bit of that, but it was, for the most part, they were pretty put together. I'll say Tokyo showed up and he was like, so do you know anything about volleyball? And I was like, absolutely not. He was like, well, I tried to study a little bit. So we were like sitting at the commentator desk, like looking at YouTube videos, trying to like take notes real quick.
Just watch Haiku. They tell you everything you need to
look
know.
for it. Yeah, I know. Don't say that too loud for Cindy coming here and jump on me. And she's been telling me to watch that shit forever. Oh my gosh. But it was just so funny because like we were both just kind of like, okay. And so he had his wig and he did his Barry character. This is like a Caucasian man, well-to-do, middle class, I guess. And then there's me, a pimp. So that was a very interesting,
that's a great dynamic. I like that.
I feel like we had great energy to play off of. I wish that they like caught the footage somewhere because we really didn't get a chance to like capture any of it. You know what I'm saying? I know there was like Cindy and them, Nessa and them got some footage, but like it's so far away and you can't really hear everything. But like it was very entertaining.
Yeah, because I would have loved to see that.
And then like we started so late. Now, mind you, this was right before the B. So we were supposed to do volleyball from 3:30 to 4:30, and then the B was supposed to start at 5. So I get there at 2:45, like they asked. And then Tokyo shows up like probably closer to 3:15. We get set up and everything, and they kind of give us a rundown. And the guy in production is kind of like, you've done this before, right? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, okay, great, just have fun. And I'm like, that's all you got? Like, they were like, watch out for these cameras. You can go over there, you can do this, you can do this, and that's it. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but then we were all set and ready to go, but they were like, we're waiting on a referee. And I'm like, why do y'all not have referees here? Like, there was one ref, and it was like, they're waiting for like 3 other people. And I was like, okay, all right. So we waited. I think we started probably about 10, 15 minutes later than we were supposed to. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so late for the B. I'm gonna be so late for the B. Jesus, I gotta get to that room. But it went well. We had a lot of fun. Me and Tokyo just did what we do, just acted foolish as hell. The games are actually very entertaining. It was a little slow to start because, you know, everybody was just kind of getting into it. But then, like, as time went, like, them teams were serious. Like, the community teams, we had Black Girls Anime, some players from the Twitch Black Guild, and 2 other teams, which I know there's some familiar faces, but I'm not, like, super familiar with them. But them niggas did not come to play. Like, they showed up, and they really played. And I was like, dang, like, I'm glad I didn't volunteer to play on nobody's team, because I might have got injured or something. Like, they was really going for it. But it was very entertaining. It was very fun to watch it. And I left there and I had to, all right, everybody got to get over to the B. I get to the room that the B is in, which was like right next to the dream stage. First of all, this is my first time laying eyes on the room, and it's huge. It was so big. And I was like,
so you were upstairs?
Yeah, on the 3rd floor.
Okay. I'm trying to think of where it was. Okay.
Yes. So the sports arena was on this end. Dream stage was way on the other end, towards like where that cafeteria area was that I saw with like the drinks and stuff. And there was like a lot of tables you could sit at.
Is big.
Yeah. So I walked in and I was like, oh. Every year it's like that too. It's like, it's a little bigger than the room before. And so it's always like, but it looks so nice. So I was just like, okay, we got a little something going on here. Okay. But I always have that feeling of, oh my gosh, like, I hope we can pack the room. I hope, you know, that, you know, it's, I hope I don't get nervous. Right. Oh yeah. We are definitely pulling main stage next year. I don't care what nobody say. I'm finna be grinding it out, man. I got to get on main stage. Yes. But, when we got there, I got on stage and I got to the room and I got people calling me. So it was supposed to be Kareem Cheese, Nerd Stuff, Evencia, Chibi Thought, and Max the Slayer. And so I get there, Max was already outside, and she was like, hey, I'm trying to call Evencia, but I can't get a hold of her. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. But she was like, hey, Kichi, everybody's saying that they're here to see Earth Gang. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, they said Earth Gang is doing a panel in here. I'm like, that's not possible. Like, there's no way. This has said Geechee B. There's no way they changed the room on me at the light. There's no way. And so I pull up the app and I'm like, nope, it say programming room 1 right here. We going inside. I don't care. And so I go through the room and I'm like, who y'all come to see or what y'all here for? And everybody's like, we here for the Dageecheegamer. And I'm like, all right, bet.
Okay.
So
heart sank for a moment.
We talked to listen, Earth Gang was gonna have to walk in on me. But there was like a production guy, AV guy or whatever. And he was just kind of like, all right, what do you need? You know? And I was just like, we need 6 mics, we need more chairs,
Steph,
stuff like that.
Man?
Hi, Steph. But it was just like, you could tell they weren't prepared for us, because it was just like, whatever was in the room before us, you could see it was still set up for that, which is why I wasn't sure about Earth Gang, because it looked more like it was set up for that. So I was like, oh no. And I was like, nah. And so like one of the volunteers, she came up to me and she's like, yeah, I'm the one you've been talking to with programming and all that stuff. She's like, do you need anything? I was like, no, but there's people saying that Earth Gang is supposed to be happening here. She's like, look, you in here now? You do your panel. I was like, hey, say less. So I hopped up on stage and I just kind of locked in. We had a DJ this year. Shout out to DJ Galaxy.
Okay.
He DJ'd for us, and he actually approached us last year because we were doing Dageecheegamer at the LAN party booth to give away tickets and stuff the whole time that we were there last year. And so he did like a little Dageecheegamer. He spelled at the time, and then he approached Cindy later and was like, hey, I want to be a part of this, And so this year I was like, hey, I heard we're going to have a bigger room. Would you be interested in DJing? And he was like, yeah. So we actually had him. We didn't have the time to really go over much. So it was slightly out of sync for us, but like, it was still a good moment. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like every year we level up. Right.
Right.
And then we couldn't find Eve. Eve never showed up. She got stuck in a panel before. And it was like 15 after. I was like, hey, we got to keep the show going. So I just went, hey, somebody in the audience, come take her spot real quick. So I grabbed the homie Feeling It out the audience, put him on stage and made him spell. And he's been in the audience every year since I did the first beat live at Dreamcon.
Okay,
so I was like, it's only right to, bring him up. You know what I'm saying? So we put him on stage and we let him spell and stuff. And he was so nervous. It was funny because everybody was like really excited to be a part of it. And then they're all like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm like, what? And these are people with massive followings. So I'm like, what are you scared of? And then Chibi thought I had to leave halfway through. So it was like, all right, can we get somebody else? It was so much, but it was like a lot of just kind of like going with the flow. It's like, no matter what, we got to keep the show rolling.
And you still made it work.
Yeah. And then this year, so instead of doing the scavenger hunt like we traditionally do, I made them have a dance battle, which was, I was like, I got a DJ now, so I'm about to make y'all dance. And it was so funny because I was like, all right, scavenger hunt. And they all came up. And it was like, okay, you guys are going to have a dance battle. And like a couple of the audience members were like, dance? You ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing. I thought we were doing a scavenger hunt. I'm like, I mean, you want to go sit down? We can swap you out. And it's like, no. And so I paired everybody up with somebody. And oh my gosh, it was like a progression of awful to like amazing. And that's no shade to anybody who participated, but you could tell who dances and who doesn't in their free time. It was like, but I like to see people have fun and kind of get people out of their shells and stuff. So it was still cool, but it was very interesting. I felt bad because I paired Max with this guy and he was so obviously uncomfortable and did not know what to do when the music came on. And so it was like, oh no, like, I hope I didn't like make him uncomfortable. Like, I hope, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he danced and Max tried, Kareem got up there and started.
Let me tell you just personally, Max be dancing. And I'm saying that.
I know she do.
As somebody who was at Trap Sushi Friday night and did not know that she was also at Trap Sushi Friday night. Max be dancing. She be dancing. She tried to carry them. She did, but she was just kind of like, well. And then Chibi Thought and her partner, they did like some you got served type, and it was like still awkward because they didn't know what to do, but you could tell they were like trying. It was like, okay. And then Nerd Stuff was like, tell Britt to come up. So Brittany, Berlizzi's sister, she was in the audience, and she came up and she danced with Nerd. They did like some old school dances and stuff. And then you had Kareem Cheese and his partner. They were into it. Kareem got up there.
Kareem got up there and started popping ass. He just turned around and faced the audience and started doing this. Just started popping it. A little 1-2 step. That's it.
I mean, none of them could clap like it would say, Kylan.
Can't dance at all. Got to go to a dancing panel. They had some of them. But yeah, so Kareem and them had fun. And then Feeling It and my boy Afro, they went, they're the youngest ones on the stage, and they're both from like up north. When I tell you them boys hit the Millie Rock so hard and started, oh my God, they showed out. I was like, I should have made them go first. Like,
right.
They really brought the energy, but they was into it. They were so into it. So like, it was really fun. And then, we just kind of finished the beat and everything, but it's like, I could feel my energy. I get flustered sometimes when it's like, I make all these preparations and then nothing goes according to plan, especially when it's things like, they'll ask you to send in your panel assets and make sure we have your audio, your visuals and stuff like that. And then we get there and 3 for 3, they did not have my stuff again. Now, normally we're prepared for that. I'll just log into my Google Drive and download everything real quick, or Cindy will have it on the thumb drive. It was so much. I think the night before, that Thursday, that day 0 just kind of shifted us completely out of focus. And so
for those of y'all that don't understand, we were 20 minutes late because of technical issues.
Exactly.
This is just what happens every time. Like, I had stuff set up before we started. And then the moment we start, nothing work. I tested the camera 3 times this week. It did not work when we started this.
Dang.
This is just what happens.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
That's how it goes. But yeah, and then I had this guy from Charleston. He has a series that he's working on called Camp Geechee, which is about like Gullah Geechee children learning about their history and tapping into their magic and stuff.
John, I will show it to you after the stream. I showed Geechee. I put in work.
It looks good.
Tried.
It looks good.
I tried.
It looks good. But it's funny because he was talking about, because he speaks all the time about his book series. He had a booth and everything at Dreamcon, and he was like, he came up to me, he was like, I was so scared. My legs were shaking like this. I was like, what? Like, I don't know. Maybe that stage is just big or something. Oh, and then we had a giveaway. I have to get a fan, but I had made fans for Dreamcon this year to give away at the Dageecheegamer. I was supposed to have a meet and greet, but I guess they were like, not yet. Maybe next year, But I was going to give fans to like the first 10. Oh, it was going to be a raffle for the fans. So I'll probably hold on to that and do it again. But there's some clacking fans that I designed, and it's like, that's the thing this year.
Didn't you have one? You had it at the baby.
I did.
Didn't you?
Yes,
that's
I
what
did.
That was.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. A fan. It was my face and like my name across it, and the QR codes and my stream and my logo. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, so I did the giveaway, and after that, everybody, of course, we took pictures and stuff, and I got to meet Stefan in person for the first time. I'm a little salty because we took a picture, but I had a whole mustache and a goatee, and it was like, dang, like, this is the picture that made it to the video. That's crazy, because like, I could have been cuter, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's picture, everyone's like, I got a picture with Geechee, and it's me as a pimp named Slickback, and it's like, y'all could have got like any pictures of me throughout the rest of the weekend. That's the picture everybody got, was a pimp named Slickback.
And I don't think I got a picture of you at all. Cause I only saw you like the one day, but still, it was just like running around so much. I didn't get anything.
I did get a lot of video footage though at Bay Brigade, like with you guys sitting in the audience and stuff.
I got some.
Yeah, that was it. But we was on the go. We were on the go this year, man. And then because immediately after the beat was over, I took my pictures and like, all right, y'all, I gotta get on to the next panel. I had like 30 minutes maybe. I was like, let me walk around the con some. I want to see something, man. And then I forgot about the panel just that quick. I was so tired. I forgot even that I was supposed to be doing Same Brain. So I was like, as I'm like, all right, headed to Same Brain, I forgot from the time I left. And then they kept going, hey, you got like 10 minutes to get there. Hey, you got like five minutes. Hey, you got 2 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I was supposed to be going to Same Brain. And they were like, way off on the other end. So I had to go. They were like deep inside the building too. It's like, I couldn't even find the room. So we got there and they were having technical difficulties. And I was so tired by that point. I was just like, okay, all you got to do is thug it out one more time. Just keep your energy up, so you can put on a good show here. Like don't do them dirty. Make sure you come in with the same energy that they know that you can bring. So that way, they get a good show too. So I did the best I could. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. My niece about to get some ice.
I got you.
Yeah, but so it's like, yeah, I did the best I could, and then when we left, it was supposed to be, we were supposed to go see Earth Gang that night because Earth Gang had like a party or something, an official after party Friday night. So we bought tickets. Let me tell you, when we got back to that hotel, it was like, shit, what y'all trying to do? Y'all want to go to Earth Gang? Like, I mean, it's just $25. Like, I ain't gonna miss that. Like, high key. So we just went back, and they were like, "Nah, I was like, say less. We can just go," because the guys were cooking. So I was like, "Bet we can just go over there and eat."
Airbnb too. Yeah, that's a done deal. That's
I was like, we can just go eat. And when I tell you, that's all we did was, just chill and eat. And I fucking fell asleep on the couch. Was that night or the night after? I don't know. But it was like, we just kicked it. Oh, we found a baby cat.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about the baby cat.
Yes, baby cat. Okay, so while we were just, we were all on the porch kicking it. And mind you, we had done so much smoking. So we're sitting out, and this is our first time meeting. So we're all just chatty and just excited to be around each other. We just kicking it. And me and Cindy were sitting down on one side of the porch, and the rest of them were just kind of scattered. And I started hearing this meowing, and I'm like, am I tripping? And I was like, nobody else is saying anything, so I must be the only one hearing this. And then I heard it again, and me and Cindy both looked at each other like, you heard that too, right? And so it was like, okay, yeah, I heard a cat. So I'm like, everybody, shh. I hear a cat in here somewhere. And it sounded like it was like under us. So I walk over to the side, grab my phone, and I kind of like walk to the steps, and I'm like, I got my flashlight on, and I'm like, I'm just gonna peek and see what it is, or where it's at, And I looked, I was like, don't worry. And Cindy was like, it might be feral. So I'm like, don't worry, guys, I'm not gonna touch it or anything. And I turned to step, and that sucker was already on the porch, and it hit my foot. And all I know is I felt the fur. And in a millisecond, my brain went, oh my God, you got rabies now. Like, it was so scary. I was like, oh, I'm going to die. It's got fleas. It's got ticks. It's got rabies. It's got germs. Like, I'm going to touch your skin, your bare skin on your foot. And also, what if I freaked it out when I hit it? What if it tries to bite me or something? So I'm just like, I felt it, and it was like, like I didn't know what to do. And I scared it. And when I looked down, it was like under the house. We kind of like peeked back out like, hey, girl. Relax, it's just me. It was like that big. It was so small. And we're like, oh my, you guys, it's a baby cat. Like, what do we do? Like, where'd it come from? Does it live here? And so they had made like some salmon and stuff like that. So I went inside and like fixed it a plate of rice. And a little bit of salmon. And they were like, he's hungry. You guys, we gotta feed it. And so like, I put the little plate in front of him. He tore that salmon up. He wouldn't really fuck it with the rice, but he loved the salmon. And then he just kind of had the time of his life just running around and just like walking up under our legs and like rubbing on our chairs and stuff. And we're like, you guys, what do we do now? Because like, we're leaving in 3 days. So this house doesn't belong to us. What are we supposed to do? And, eventually, we go back inside, and the cat, we're just kind of, and we were cracking jokes too, because it's like, watch this whole time, this cat done snuck out the house. He supposed to be home sleep with his siblings. His mama don't know he gone. And then sure enough, a big cat comes not long after that. And it's like, oh, that's your mama looking for you. You better go back to bed. You better get inside there now. Mm-hmm. We go inside the house. And for whatever reason, these fellas just don't close doors behind themselves. And the cat runs in the house. And I'm like, oh, I ain't touching it. So now what? Because we can't let it stay in these people's house because y'all gonna get charged like crazy, these Airbnb. So we're all like, we gotta get it out of the house now, and it like went and hid under a couch. It's like, oh God, this is about to be a long night. Because like I was ready to wrap it up. It's like, now we gotta figure out how to get this cat back outside. But we were just kind of like, I got a broom, and we just kind of like pushed it back out. But after that, we just went back to the room again and just called it a night. You know what I'm saying? And then the rest of the weekend just kind of like flew by because we didn't go to any parties on Thursday or Friday because we wanted to go to R&B only Thursday. But after how Thursday went, yeah. Saturday we got to the con so late. It was like I DoorDashed us breakfast. Like I didn't even bother like We got there. It was like 2 p.m. We missed everything. Then I made it to Land Party booth and got to turn up a little bit, and then we linked up and then went to Bay Brigade. That was like the highlight of my Saturday was Bay Brigade. I didn't do nothing else on Saturday.
That's cool. So that explains why when I saw Cindy, I asked her how she was doing and how her weekend was going. She did not say a word. She put a hand on my shoulder and just gave me a hug. She didn't say anything. No. I was like, okay, so either she done went through it or I done went through something.
Bro, let me tell you. Houston was ready for us. We was not ready for Houston. Mm-hmm. We were not ready for Houston.
Because my Friday...
What up, Rude?
What's up, Rude? What's going on, bro? Because my Friday was cool. My Friday night was bad, and then it got better. I did go to the R&B party on Thursday.
How was that?
That was nice. It was way too many people there. It was also very hot.
Oh no!
But the upstairs had like it had a rooftop. Mm-hmm. So
you could catch like a little breeze here and there.
Right. So we went there because Cleo and his family went to eat at Papados. Because I ran into them on Thursday because I wanted to make sure they got their badges and everything. They went to eat. I didn't go in there to eat at first, but I went in there to ask them, like, when do you want me to meet? When do you want me to meet up with you? And we started talking and everything. And, you know, they had brought some food over. And Cleo was nice enough to, like, you know, anything you want, you know, go ahead and grab it. And then they brought food over for his little sister. And she got like chicken tenders and shrimp, and she has a seafood allergy. But she was like, it's just consumption, so she'll be fine. So it's like, it's no big
what?
Deal. It's like, in other words, she was saying like touching it doesn't bother her. It's just eating it that does.
Eating it, gotcha.
But they still didn't
follow Rude.
They didn't want to take a chance, so they were like, give Cleo the shrimp. They're gonna make her a new plate, and I was like, if all you gonna do is throw that food in the garbage. Right, I'll take that. and the waiter was like, closed mouths don't get fed. Here you go, bro.
Amen.
So we got us some food, and that was like, we went in there the first time, and because we hadn't eaten much Thursday either. So me and my friend, I went with a friend of mine had came with me, and I wanted to stop in there and get some food, and I'm like, the food was crazy expensive. I'm like, I ain't got the bankroll for that, so I'm gonna just leave that alone. So he got something, and he only got 3 things, and his bill was $60. And he was like, "Damn, what'd you get?" And I'm like, "I ain't get nothing." He was like, "You mean this was all me?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's all you." So he canceled the order. This one thing, Houston does not know how to manage their money. Not in a grand scale, but for like little people, because I don't know if he got that money back. I gotta text him and see, because they said it would take 24 hours. He did not get that money back the entire weekend.
Oh no.
So that was our first.
Yeah, you gotta follow up.
Yeah, that was our first money issue, but that was pretty much Thursday. But outside of the R&B party, because there was a guy who told Cleo about it, and I asked him about it. And I was like, okay, cool. So we get there. I didn't know that you had to get a ticket. I'm not used to going to parties, y'all, so don't judge me. Okay?
Yeah.
So I told the guy at the front, like, I was told about it. I didn't know there was a ticket. Dude's like, well, you can sell me $30. The ticket is $30. I'm like, I mean, okay. So I'm sitting up here trying to go into Zelle and everything. It's like, well, what are you doing? What were you doing here anyway? It's like, well, I'm at Dreamcon. I escort Cleo Thomas around, and he was told about the party. So the guy told me because he was telling him, and he was like, oh, you all can go ahead. I'm like,
I know, right?
Okay. I mean, all right.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
So,
you know what's funny?
What?
I was trying to tell my boys about R&B only, and I was like, well, we could do that, because it was like, what's the move on Thursday night? And so I was looking at the tickets online, and I was like, I'm about to send y'all the link. And when I pulled it up, it was like sold out. And I was like, well.
Right. And we went in there, and it was probably a 20 to 30 minute wait just to get a drink up at that bar. It was jam-packed up in there. So we went, me and my homie went up to the rooftop where I met one of my streaming buddies I ran into. I just started watching his stuff last year, Marty Mark. and could have given y'all my tickets. You should have texted somebody then.
Wait, you said R&B was not R&B only? They didn't play only R&B?
They did not.
Because that would have turned me around. No.
They did not only play R&B.
At least for like the last 20 minutes. Okay, that I could deal with, but no. But that's because that's where I'm at now. Like I'm at that place. I'm not trying to turn up all the time. Like
right,
child, I need a 2-step. I want to sit down and 2-step when I feel it.
And that's exactly what we did when we went up there. We sat in this little private private
High
area.
School Musical.
There were these 2 girls that were sitting there talking. We sat over there. We didn't really talk to them. We were just chilling with ourselves. And then Cleo shows up with his family. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Oh, fancy seeing you here. I thought y'all weren't coming today. Because at this point, it was like, I want to say it was like 10 o'clock. I figured if he ain't out by 10, he ain't coming out. But sure enough, he did. So we sat up there. We drank and talked a bit, standing on the bar.
Listen. I'm no longer that person. All right. I got it out. I got my fill. I'd be scared to stand on the bar now because I'd be afraid I'm gonna fall. I'm not gonna recover. I'm not gonna recover from that the way I once could have.
Right. The healing don't work like the way it used to with our bodies and stuff.
No, I gotta take vitamins.
I got scratches that still ain't fully healed yet from last week.
Bro, I got a scratch on me. I don't know where it came from. I was like, when did this happen?
Right. Just get hurt sleeping.
When? How? Man.
So that was like, that was Thursday night. Friday, of course, jam-packed because got to sit up here and get, Cleo's doing this panel and then he's, doing the hosting thing, which the opening ceremony was insane.
Yeah, I had to leave the opening ceremony. I was there for a little bit with the creators, but it started late. So I couldn't wait because I had to get to volleyball. So I didn't even get to catch it.
Dang. Yeah, they did.
I saw when they first came in, I was walking out and RDC was walking in. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna miss it.
With the drum
I was literally
line
walking out. I didn't even know they had a drum line. Nessa told me about it, but it's like as I was walking out, I saw one of them. I think I saw Dez walk in, and then coming off of that, I just seen all the rest of them coming. I was like, ain't that some shit? Now I'm about to miss it.
Yeah, I didn't know because the way they set it up so well because we were sitting there talking. I mean, we were sitting there, listening to the ceremony and everything. And then he was like, all right, let's bring out RDC World. And they point to the side of the stage and no one comes out. And then all of a sudden it's like, everybody's like, what? And then Cleo points to the back and we sit up here and look and I'm like, what are we looking at? And then the doors open and I hear drums and I'm like, there ain't no way they got a drum line. These people got a drum line. They got a drum line and they walked right past where we were sitting. So I got like a whole front, front view of like them coming up on the stage and everything. And then somebody rushed the stage and threw a death note up there.
Ah, wow.
It was like, I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you? And security was so slow. Like this man had ran through the death note and was already halfway back to his seat before security was like, hey man, you can't do that. I'm like, what? This could have been anything at all.
Right.
Set up here and told Mark, hey, can you sign it? And I'm like, doesn't signing it mean you die? Like, why would you tell him to do that?
It's funny because I was Misa Amane. My first B that I did, I was Misa Amane, and I had a death note that year, and I was going around collecting signatures, like sign my book, and I only had one person be like.
Only one person knew the Lord.
He was like, I'm not gonna put my real name in it though. Like
Mia James Moriarty, that was your death note. Was that you? Don't say that was you that rushed the stage. That might be the year we met.
What? The year I was Misa?
John, I met you in what?
22? Oh no. Because I think the first year I know the first year I cosplayed Loba.
Yeah.
I think that was the only cosplay I did that year though, was Loba. But that was the year we met, John, because y'all had was it? Wait a minute. Because it was the Creator House. Was that 22 or 23? I don't know, because my first year was 22 in Arlington.
I remember Loba being 22. Because you were Katara.
Yeah, Lobo is no. So
Katana. What
that was no 24. 24 was Katana. Last year I was Katana because Nessa was Melina, and then I was also who else was I last year? Tifa from Final Fantasy VII.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the year before that I was Misa, and I can't remember who else, but yeah, it was Loba the first year I went.
Loba from Apex? Yeah, she was Loba from Apex.
Yes, from Apex. Mm-hmm. Can't fit that cosplay no more. Bring back Katana and Melina. We'll see if I can fit that one too. I didn't put on 30 pounds since I've been back in the States.
So Friday, we went out to eat Thursday to this place called the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
Food was so good. Oh my God.
I heard a lot about Breakfast Club, but we didn't get to go.
It was good. Best breakfast sausage I have ever had in my life. And I am like a big connoisseur on like breakfast food and everything, especially like breakfast sausage. I've never had anything that good here.
Are they like a 24/7 like they serve breakfast all day long? Is it that type of restaurant?
No,
or
I
is
think
it just
they close at 2 or something like that.
Okay, so like a brunch spot.
Yeah, it's like a brunch spot. So we tried to go back there again Friday, and our Uber took us there, and the line was around the building. I'm like, I have to be at the convention center in 30 minutes. I cannot wait in this line.
Yeah, I want to say we passed it that day because I saw it. And I was like, damn, this must be one of them spots that they was talking about on TikTok. Because that line, I saw the line, it was like wrapped around. And I was like, well, whatever that place is, I guess I ain't going to get to try it this time around because I ain't doing that.
Jay, I didn't say that. I knew somebody was going to say something. I didn't sit up here and say that. I said breakfast connoisseur. I know, see, because I knew somebody like you would sit up here and try and change that around. No, that's not what I said. But anyway, so our Uber, I noticed our Uber was like, he was like turning down a bunch of rides that were like $2 and $3 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we also can't get out here because we gotta find somewhere else to go. And I told him like, tell you what, I give you a $10 tip if you just turn around and take us to the convention center. We'll try and find some food around there. He's like, yeah, I can do that. As a matter of fact, I know a breakfast spot. So he took us to this taco spot that was literally like, there's maybe 10-minute walking distance from the convention center. It's a little mom and pop taco shop. I knew it was gonna be good because they had 5 Mexican women lined up like lunch ladies. And only 2 of them spoke English. And they had a whole assortment of everything. They had breakfast tacos. They had eggs with onions and peppers. They had eggs with tomato. They had eggs with chorizo. They had eggs with hot dogs. They had regular tacos. They had everything. I'm like, give me a couple.
Hey, Remy.
What's going on? So I got a couple of those, just like a quick little breakfast thing, and went to the convention center. And that was fire. Like I said, we went back there every weekend. Every day. But the day,
man, you should have put me on.
I didn't know. See, I didn't know all this stuff had happened. Yeah. I'll definitely let you know what it is next time, though.
I need the food spots next year. That's all I want. Everything else, I don't even got a party. I want to know where the food is.
Cause it was cheap. It was like 2 tacos was like $5. I got 2 tacos and a drink for $7.
Nice.
So I had that, and like Friday was a bit of a blur because we were running around back to back doing stuff. And of course, I had to bring Cleo and them to the All-Star volleyball game. Yeah. And this is where Friday got bad. Because it was cool until we left. And I don't know what had happened. But we called an Uber. And Uber sat up here and sent her the wrong location to where we were.
Oh, no.
So she was at a different hotel. She called saying that she was there. I'm like, we're not there. So she had to come back to where we were at. This was just some lady that does Uber on Friday.
Well, you said that. Oh, so Uber sent her to the wrong location.
Yeah, Uber sent her to the wrong
driver.
Location. Yeah.
Okay.
So she had to double back and come to us. And she gets to us, which took maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. And so we're trying to get to this, was it Papa's Barbecue? Because it's a barbecue place. It closes at 10, and we're getting out of the convention center like 9 o'clock, so we got to get some food. So we try to get there, and the street, first off, it took us on a street that we didn't necessarily need to go down. And then whoever was running the street that day, like the traffic, didn't let anybody drive down that street.
Oh, okay.
So we were stuck there for 40 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So we were naturally, I'm livid at this point because all I had was them 2 tacos and a bag of chips the entire day. And that was at 9 o'clock. And here we are 13 hours later.
Oh no.
And I've been running all day and the niggas still ain't got no food. So she turns around and tries to get to the restaurant. We get to the restaurant. We get there like 9:50. Come to find out they closed their doors early. Cause we banging and knocking on the door. They're not letting anybody in. I'm like,
dang.
So
I'd have been ready to crash out.
I was ready to crash out because I'm like, I'm not using Uber anymore this entire weekend. I walked to the Airbnb. And because our Airbnb was probably like 5 minutes from there. We did get a great spot. Like it was literally walking distance from everything.
Even the convention center?
Even the convention. It was probably like a 20-minute walk to the convention center. Okay. We were like smack dab in the middle of downtown. So I'm very, very happy about that. So we walked to our the Airbnb. My homie orders some food off of Grubhub. Like from one of the 3 restaurants that's open past 10. Because that's the other thing about Houston. Everything closes at 10. You ain't getting no food after 10 o'clock. So he found one. We ordered food. The food never showed.
Oh, Lord.
It was like an hour. We waited and he called and they were like, oh, the food isn't ready yet. And he's like, we ordered an hour ago. How's the food not ready yet? And the place closes in 10 minutes. Yeah. So what are we supposed to do? And he asked me, what do you want to do? I'm like, just cancel it. I'm leaving. So I left and walked to Trap Sushi.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I didn't tell anybody I was going to Trap Sushi. Yeah. I just went. So I walk over there. I ran into some of my other streamer friends, Nate the Third Night, and some of his homies were there. I met them at the door. And they could see I was like,
he was going through it.
I was done. I was done. Like I had like murderous intent in my eyes. Like they were like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, no. I'm not. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to. And while I'm sitting there waiting for them, because they were like, hey, you can get in front of us in line if you're just trying to get into Trap Sushi. Keats walks by.
Oh, wow.
So I just sit up here. I'm like, hey, yo, Keats. And he was like, what's up? I'm like, I was coming to Trap Sushi. Supreme Sensei told me about it. Is it cool if I come in? And he's like, come on. And so he brings me inside. I go to the bar. And mind you, I have not had nothing but 2 tacos and a bag of chips all day. It took 4 drinks for me to actually feel like I had some alcohol.
Jesus.
I was that pissed. It took 4 drinks on an empty stomach for me to be like, oh, I got a little something in my system. Let me enjoy myself a bit.
I can't even drink on an empty stomach. I'll be tipping over.
I was that mad. I ain't even know being mad could change your chemistry that much. I was a completely different person.
John said not the anger kept you sober.
Not the anger kept me sober for 3 drinks. 3 drinks in. And it was like, I got one drink from the bartender, and the bartender was pissing me off because it was like 10 people standing at the side of the bar and they're not taking orders from there. And then I'm like, hey, are y'all taking orders of what? And the dude was like, come around, and someone else was like, oh, he's a bar back. He doesn't take orders. I'm like, well, why didn't anybody say anything?
Right, why are we standing here?
We standing here for 10 minutes and ain't nobody say, come around. So I sit up here and go and get a drink. I get a drink. I go upstairs because I'm like, I ain't trying to be around all these people. I go up there, and who do I run into yet again? But Cleo Thomas and his family. So I see he's over there with the
bar
bottle.
back, John. Stop.
John, really? So I see he's over there with his family, and Supreme Sensei is up there. Pierre is up there. Shaquan Pearson is up there. Everybody up there. I ain't even know nothing about all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then job as a job for that. Jay, yeah, be quiet, Jay.
Get your life together.
I know
Get
you
your
want to
life
say
together.
something. So I went up there and it was like, you know, he had a bottle and they were like, wait, you come on, sit down, get a drink or something. So I had like some of the stuff that they had. My homie didn't come. He was fed up and done with the day. He went to sleep. I'm like, I can't sleep.
Oh, gotcha.
I can't sleep this upset. I have to go do something. So this is what I went to do. And I mean, we were up there after 4 drinks. I was having a good time. We were standing on furniture, singing 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
What was it? I was taking pictures with folks. I got a picture with Keatson Sensei. Went and talked and hung out with friends. And I was at that party. Were you? Where were you at?
I didn't go nowhere that night. I took my ass to bed. We found Baby Cat.
Baby Cat, but Baby Cat was your thing. I ain't had no Baby Cat. I ain't had no food.
That's one thing I can't say. We ate. Mm-hmm. We did eat. We ate and drink.
Can't go to sleep angry. No. I can go to sleep angry, but not that angry. Not that angry.
Hence the reason that we were up and outside on Thursday with this debacle with our Airbnb. It was like,
That's why I'm like, I completely understand because I was right there. That was my Friday. Your Thursday was my Friday. I was upstairs too. I don't know if I don't know if anybody else has like pictures of me. I have pictures, but I mean, you see what I look like. So,
how was the party itself? Like, how was the party overall? Because I heard Trap Sushi was lit.
The party was good. It was again a lot of people. Hot, because this was indoor. This one was an inside party, but it was cool because on top of like, you know, just being like at the party setup, I'm not used to being like upstairs, so just seeing the party from the sky view and hanging with people up there,
it's a different experience.
It is a different experience instead of being like in the crowd. And then Keats did his performance, which was dope.
So mad I missed it, man.
I missed part of it too because I was waiting in line at the bar, so I didn't even get to see all of it. But then I was upstairs and
see, I thought that he would perform Sunday because they usually do the Sunday party.
I did too. I asked
him.
I asked him and he said nah.
He told me it was like Saturday or Sunday when I talked to him about it, and he was like, oh yeah, no, I did all the performing on Friday, so this isn't that type. I was like, man, that has become like one of the highlights of every time we come to Dreamcon. When we go to the Trap Sushi events, is to see him perform and see Trap Sushi perform. So I was like, dang, I can't believe we missed it, man.
Yeah, because I wanted to be like up front and center. Like, he's the reason I started streaming and going to Dreamcon and everything anyway. So I wanted to be up there, and I'm like, I ain't even get to do that, and I'm sitting up here pissed. The funny thing is, Shaquan saw me, and I met him last year, and he must have knew that there was something going on because he was like, hey, bro, it's good to see you. Like, how you doing, though? How's your mental? And I'm just like, this is only my second drink in, so I'm still mad. So I'm like, man, I just had... I explained a little bit, and he just gave like, you know, some words of encouragement and all that, and he was like, "Hey, it's gonna be all right, man. You got this. You good." And somebody else is offering to give me like Postmates and everything. I'm like, dang, I must have looked real messed up. Folks just up offering things to me like, "Hey, you gonna be all right? I got Postmates. I got food for you. Take this drink." I'm like,
it'd be like that.
All right.
Now I can say like in this space, I've met a lot of really solid people. Of course, you know, I feel like over time, because I started back in March of 2020, and you know, I've met a ton of people at this point. And over time, the ones who weren't necessarily solid, they definitely like weed themselves out. So it's, you know, obviously you still have people who you got to be really particular, really careful about, you know, how you move. But, and that's as a woman anyways, you know, especially, but I've met some really solid people in the space, man, like a lot of people I can depend on for a lot of different things. And it's been awesome, specifically for reasons like this, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it can really change your experience, your entire experience when it comes to stuff. Cause like, I can imagine something like that, or like what happened to you, or what happened to me. If this is my first Dreamcon, I told them, I was like, if this was my first Dreamcon, I would never come back.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was so awful getting to Houston and like trying to navigate. I was like, ugh. I'm glad I'm a vet at this point because like I know what could happen.
Yeah,
at
and
Dreamcon
since
versus what is happening.
And since you've been at Dreamcon, you can separate what is Dreamcon and what's the city experience and what's a personal experience. So it's like Dreamcon had nothing to do with everything else.
With those roads in Houston.
With the roads
and the Airbnb
and the
cancellation. Right. And the restaurant's closing at 10 o'clock and not being able to buy alcohol after 7:30.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yes, but see, like I'm in South Carolina. It's the same way here. Like during the weekdays, you cannot buy alcohol after like 7:30, and you can't buy it on Sundays. So that didn't really bother me anyways, because Cindy always brings us a bottle of Ricardo to share. Like
I had some.
You did?
I had some on Sunday.
How'd you?
I went to Trap Sushi, and again, Keith's doing his big thing. He was like, "Hey, you want to come
on Sunday? The
on
Sunday party?
The Sunday party." So
yes,
I went and bar and everything that was going on. He was like, "Hey, have you ever had this?" And I'm like, "What is that?" And he was like, "Oh, this is Cindy gave this to me. This is that rum from the Caribbean."
Yeah,
I'm like,
from Bahamas.
Let me try some of that. And he was like, all right. So I've had some, and I'm like, oh, that is good. That's the best. And I like rum. That's the best rum I've had. Give me another shot of that. Give me I took 2 shots of that. I was like, I need this back home.
So yeah, because we always bring a bottle for him and for Berlizzi every year. So she brings a big bottle for me and Nessa to bring home. And then we have one big bottle to share throughout the weekend. And then we have little bottles that, we give Keats one and we give Berlizzi one every year. And it's so funny because we came with it, and when I had to, because we went to the Trap Sushi on Sunday, and we were actually, I wasn't there too long. We came kind of late, but when we did get there, it was, we kind of went straight upstairs. I saw Jason and Preem was doing like the little samba step TikTok with a group of people. So I just kind of floated around and just kind of like finally had a chance to say hi to people that I didn't get to see like throughout the whole weekend. And crazy enough, I met Jay Wells for the first time. But what was funny about it was we met trying to save some dude's life. Because when we got there, we got upstairs and where they were playing like Jenga and stuff, and I was just kind of like walking around, just seeing who I knew and who I could greet and stuff like that. Oh, matter of fact, I did see you because I took the picture of you and Vader when y'all was flexing.
You showed it. That's right. I forgot about that. That whole thing too, like the way, because Vader is probably one of the coolest content creators that I'm like super jealous of, because I wanted to be him when I was a kid, and he's doing everything that I wanted at this point. So for me to be in the same space as him, and for him to like see and reach out to me, is just like. And to be able to do like a picture like that, because then I posted like the calisthenics thing that I did, and he had something to say about that. He had something to say about that all weekend. Like he was talking like this man does push-ups without using his legs like that. He different. Most people I can't do that. He different, and I didn't know. Nice. Hundo, and I know Caleb is a calisthenics expert, and Hundo is learning it too.
I didn't know that. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, Caleb is. Y'all who know who One Tap is, which is like King Vader, Caleb, Hundo, Barefoot Tasha, and Kaiju Black. Y'all think King Vader is the strongest one. He is not. Caleb is different.
Caleb is like Bruce Lee, like he's very unassuming. You really wouldn't know just looking at him, but then it's like if you get to test it, you're gonna see.
Yeah. Caleb is different. But yeah, like Vader was so cool that entire weekend.
Vader is always cool, like, and I always have a positive experience with Vader, like, and we don't talk much. That's a funny thing. Like, I barely know what Vader voice sound like. I actually met him back when I started streaming during the pandemic. I met him through his best friend at the time. I don't know like if they still talk because I kind of haven't seen him in a while. But they like had a party chat going on PlayStation. We would play like GTA together, and I would play with them. And I met Lizzie through that party chat, Afro, all of them, Amir, Royal, or Journey. So I met all of them in that party chat, and then we came out the group chat. And it's funny because Journey actually said that to me this year. She was like, damn, dog, like, you really been kicking it for like this whole time with us. Like, I guess, people come and go, but she was like, you're pretty fucking consistent. Like, I always see you around. You always got the same energy. You always cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's always love. And it's crazy because, and that's, like I said, that's how I met Vader. And then, everybody I have built relationships with in content creation has been over social media. Cause obviously, I can't be everywhere they are all the time.
Right.
And so, they've been doing this for so long. So they definitely have found a way to be more close knit with one another for sure. And I believe in letting things like that happen organically. I'll never force myself on anybody. I'll never push myself. I make myself seen, and my presence known because I am trying to establish a brand and an entity. And, I'm trying to make myself something. So I have to make it be known who I am, but I'm never like, hey, look at me. Hey, be my friend. Hey, let me play with you. You know what I'm saying? It's never like that. But every time I see Vader, he's always like, cause even I've seen him at the ball last year. And it's so funny because I remember the first time I seen Vader in person, this was Dreamcon 22? Was it 22?
Was
it might have been 23.
Naruto?
No, this was at one of the after parties.
Oh, okay.
I think this was 22 or 23. And so we went to like the official after party. And I think it was that one. Nessa will be able to tell me or correct me because her and City got kicked out basically.
Dang.
Because this was one that was at the convention center, but what ended up happening was they went outside to smoke and then the people at the doors wouldn't let them back in.
That's so lame.
22. Okay, that was 22. And basically oh yeah, that's right, because 23 we got there so late, like the whole thing was pretty much over by the time we got there.
Dang.
But we were in VIP and I was in line standing next to Dwayne. And Dwayne was about to buy me a drink. And I was just chatting. And Vader was standing here next to me.
Exactly like that. It's exactly like that.
And I'm just like, and he like taps me on the shoulder. He's like, and I was like, oh, hey, and it's kind of always like that every time I see him. It's always, maybe it's just like a brick wall for me because he is so tall. So it's like every time I find myself in the same space as Vader, I never see his face. I just see person.
This is out of your periphery. It's just a beam.
I just always see person. So it's like every single time it's like, hey, I was like, hey, but it does feel good to, have people that you are inspired by be excited to see you and share a space with you also. And I was even telling Cindy this time around, it's like, man, like, we always talk about how every year things level up. And I said this year, it wasn't super, super different, but it's like, I found myself in places where I wasn't before and nobody asked any questions. Nobody's like, what's she doing here? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like I've worked so hard and I've leveled up to a point where it's like, it's almost expected to see me there. It's like, if you don't see me, you probably won't be like, hey, where's Geechee? But at the same time, if you do see me, you're not like, why is Geechee here?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Who let her in? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I really appreciate that, that's what the grind has given me. You know what I'm saying?
And that's kind of, I'm like maybe a step or two under that. Chef. I'm probably a step or two under that right now. Cause that happened to me a lot this year. Security. And
He said, "How did you get past security?"
Oh, that was me. I do that. I get past security.
Tell you about? No. We can't tell too much because we gotta keep that in the tuck because we can't have everybody looking for Sid. We can't have everybody looking for Sid.
I'm sorry. It's only so much I can do with so many people.
Yeah.
And it's like connections that get around. But that is kind of like a thing now where, like you said, it's not that somebody would ask, hey, where's Sid? But it's also like, I've been here enough to where people expect to see me. And it's at this point where, you know, I don't really talk about my life much. That's because I don't really do much. I work, I stream, I play games, I do like basic stuff. And it's not because it's not because, you know, I don't have anything to do. It's just like I'm a guy who's pleased by the simple things. All I want is to have a family. That's about it. That's about all I want. But we over here now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's like to be somebody who I can make a phone call and get into a party for free after it's sold out, or can get backstage somewhere and nobody's like, why are you here? Or to like get, you know, to have people like when Cleo's family saw me when we were coming. And when I was coming down the hall, they were all like, "Sid!" And I'm just like, "Whoa!" Like
that's a good feeling.
It is a good feeling. It's like Vader sitting up here dapping me up, giving me encouragement. Pierre and I are supposed to be talking. Nothing is like set in stone yet, but we're working it out. He wants me to do some video edits for him.
Nice.
So that's something else. Storymodebae wanted me to be in the Bae Brigade. And I've been saying that because that, let me tell you something right now. That right there, if there was anything that I wanted to do at Dreamcon, because I am not a stagehand. I'm not somebody that likes being on stage. If there was anything that I would want to be on stage for, it is that. And I couldn't do it because of volunteering. I almost quit that moment. I was about to be like, you know what? I quit. How about now? And
then? You know, and I like that she brings new people on each time too, except Cleo. We got to get Cleo up out of there. Like, this is why I want her to bring me back, so I gotta dethrone Cleo because they did us so dirty with that. I said, when we went backstage, I told Kadeem, I said, Cleo found the cheat code. He found the hack. Just pick a rock song at the very end that all the black people know, and you'll win. Period. But they did put up a good fight. I'm not gonna lie. They actually did really good. For the parts that I did see. But you figure, like I said, Saturday was the only day. Bae Brigade was the only thing I did Saturday. The only thing. And we did that. I had the time of my life. And I'd be telling everybody, like, I can't keep still. When the music is playing, I'm moving. So I had a real good time doing that. And I had a very comfortable cosplay on that day. So my feet wasn't hurting. I wasn't uncomfortable. I wasn't too hot. I wasn't too cold. I felt good. And
that is a tip. Side note, for any of y'all that's planning on coming to DreamCon, I'm going to tell you right now, don't try and be cute. Bring you some good shoes, because I sat up here and had some cute shoes last year and my feet were messed up. I had comfortable shoes this year and I felt great. Let me tell you,
I lost a toenail last year. She sure did. I lost a toenail. I left with all my toenails intact. The year before that, I had numb toes on my right foot for about 3 weeks after DreamCon. It was a long time after DreamCon before I even felt those toes again. Dang. So, and I think it also helped that I didn't party much this year either, because I wasn't up on my heels, like in high heels. So I think every party we went to, I had flip-flops on. So I was like, I'm not doing this to myself no more. I wore like some fake Converses the other 2 days. No, not even the 2 days, just one day. I had some fake Chucks on for my Spider-Gwen. The day before that, I had on some church shoes as a pimp named Slickback. Sunday, I had flip-flops on. That was that. I was not playing them games. Every party we went to, I had flip-flops on at LAN party, because we did Texas versus New York, the LAN party event. We did that on Saturday. And that was a lot of fun. We got there late, of course. And Nessa hadn't eaten, so she was about to die. So she didn't really have too much fun because she was just kind of like trying to remain upright and conscious. But I get there, and first thing I seen Retro Spectro, Niles. I seen Niles there, and he's another one who I made a connection with last year through Lean and Zaid mutuals.
I didn't see them. Were they here?
Lean was here. Zaid wasn't.
Okay. Zaid can break dance. I didn't know that.
Listen, and this is my absolute favorite thing about DreamCon is niggas is not afraid to dance, like for real.
Right.
Between Zaid and Metro, oh my gosh. I could watch Metro dance for hours. because that boy be dancing his ass off. And then Lean, he get to tutting and all of that stuff. Like, he be doing all of that. And I just be so entertained because I'm like, I can't do that, but they're not afraid to do it. And that makes me comfortable enough to do whatever the hell I want to do because I'm a dance. And so we just kind of hung out with them, and I got me a drink, of course. And I actually had a lot of guys offer to buy me drinks that night, which is kind of rare. Like, I'm not used to that. Not at Dreamcon, you know what I'm saying? Because usually I just get my own drinks, or I have like friends, people I already know that are like, gotcha. Oh, what y'all drinking? You know what I'm saying? But this time it was like total strangers, and it was just like, oh, I was gonna buy you a drink. I want to buy you a drink. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. I got my drink here. But it's like, then one dude that I do know a little bit, he was like, I told you back at 22 on 6th Street, I was going to buy you a drink. And I was like, damn, for real? He was like, yeah. So he brought me a drink. Right. I was like, oh, okay. So he brought me a drink. And then I was like, wait, you're not drinking? And he was like, oh, be right back. And so he came back with 2 more drinks. And I was like, I had to finish that first one, so it was fine. But ladies, do not do that. Do not just be taking drinks from people without watching the drink be made. Because after I was like halfway through the second drink, I was like, bitch, you didn't watch it. Like, you did not watch this drink be made. Now, I recognize this guy. I see him every year. He's in the streams all the time. So I knew who he was, but I don't know him that well. So I was like, and even if it's somebody I did know well, you still can't be too careful. But I was like, I'm with my people. So if anything is going to happen, I'm in good company. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're not going to let nothing happen to me. Unless, I get poisoned or something, then I'm fucked, but don't do that. Don't take drinks from people without watching it get made, y'all. And then after a while, I was just kind of like, all right, I'm tired. I'm ready to go. Literally, as we were walking out, Tasha, Jazzy, Dwayne, everybody starts coming in. And I was like, dang. Now I want to go back inside. But I was so tired. I was hot. I was like, nah, we're going to just, because we were supposed to go back to the guy's house to eat. Mm-hmm. But they hadn't started cooking. They were supposed to cook before we got to the party. And they hadn't. So it was like, okay, what we're going to do is, thank you for the follow, Nick. So I was like, instead, we'll just go eat after. We was ready to eat. I was like, look, y'all, I'm tired. I'm hungry. We got to go. And I seen everybody and they were like, oh, you're leaving? And I was like, yeah, dog, I'm out. Like, it's been a minute. Which the party was really good. I had a lot of fun. It was really, really lit. That's good. And yeah, so we went back. Got Appreciate some food. You, went right back to that room. Went back to that room and slept real good. Sunday, I was like, look, I just want to make it to closing ceremony.
Let me just survive. No, that was me. After the Bay Brigade, I went home. Somebody asked if I was coming to the after party. I said, I don't know. I got to the house. Let me tell you, I was so tired. I sat up here and laid in the bed, called somebody. He said, let me call you back because I'm driving. I'm like, that's fine. I woke up at 2 a.m. with my light on in the room. I was. Oh,
that sleep was real. You woke up with the light on.
I slept for 6 hours. I took a 6-hour nap, and I'm like, oh, dang. I was tired.
That ain't no nap. That's a sleep.
That's a sleep. So I turned around. I'm like, well, let me just finish it off then, and went right back on the bed.
Yeah, and that's it. Cut that light off, flip right back on over. Make sure I don't need to like take no clothes off because that's what happened when you still got your jeans on and you just pass out. You gotta wake up, take all the extra, take the bra off, take the jeans off, hop right back in bed. Make sure the AC is at the right temperature. Cut that light off. Call it a night.
Yep. So the Sunday was chill because I had a friend helping me with Cleo this weekend, which I needed because that was the other thing. Saturday was so chaotic. Because
I'm sure
not only is it like the biggest day of the con, so it's a bunch of stuff going on, but I met Tiffy Starchild. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I fangirl because she is one of my favorite content creators too. She is so brilliant, and her like the content she comes up with and her writing is just ingenious. I love it. I met her and the How to Nerd podcast guy. They were both there. Zaina Bear, I met her. I met Cutie Pie Sensei. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm sorry. I thinking about meeting all them just like blew me, and I had to stop complimenting it because I'm like, I'm gonna sound like a creep if I say one more compliment. So I'm gonna just ask for a picture and move on.
Go.
But it's like I didn't want to sound weird, but when I tell you I love those people and the stuff that they do, it was just so great. But so I'm carrying, I'm working, bringing Cleo, and he has his whole family because it's like the 4 controllers, so it's like him, his camera guy, his 3 siblings,
Tony.
and his mama. Yeah. Him, Tony, his 3 siblings, and his mama. So that I'm bringing all them around, and then. They wanted the How to Nerd podcast group. So we had Brennan, we had what's her name? I think it was Christina. Max was there. Max the Slayer, she runs with them. And then they were saying like, hey, Patrick is supposed to be coming. Can you get him a badge? And I'm like, I don't know if I can give you it. Because, man, when I tell you they had them badges locked tight this weekend.
Good.
Bro, it was hard for me to get a badge. And I was able to grab something.
I ain't forgetting Nessa.
And I was able to get one for him. And
nice, Rome.
One of the guys he was with. And then they were like, oh yeah, Tony Baker wants to stop by too. And I'm like, Tony Baker? It's like, can you get something for him? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and so what they need to do, they need to have like a stash of like badges just set to the side for shit like that, because clearly it's going to happen every year.
Yeah, and Tony just put up a video today. He said he was only there for like an hour and a half, but he said he loved the convention. He loved how it felt and everything. So I'm hoping that he comes back, because you ain't got to be like a cosplayer or a big nerd to like be there. You could just be there and just love being in the culture, just love being black in the space, because it's not just about being a nerd. It's about being in a black space that is comfortable for everybody. Because one thing nerds is gonna do, we gonna welcome you in unless you say something off the wall. Yeah, that's the thing. Yep. So it's like that space is open for everybody. Just be chill. And and I mean, just treat it. If you treat it like you treat being in somebody's stream, you're gonna have a great time. Don't offend nobody. Don't judge nobody. Don't talk bad about nobody. Just go up in there and have fun. And people are willing to talk to you. People are willing to just like be there. And like, hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to do that? Like, these people didn't know me in 2022.
That's another thing about Dreamcon is a lot of people always say how, I want to go, but I don't know anybody. I don't have any friends that are going. And we always be like, just go anyways. You will. Go anyways. I promise you're going to leave with people. You will meet somebody there who you can keep in contact with, be friends with, whatever. Like, it happens all the time. But we met Zaina Bear the night we were actually heading out to LAN party. We were going to, and so, okay, that was interesting too, because we lost our car somehow, even though it was valeted. We lost our car. Yeah, because we left, but we forgot our valet ticket. And so when we got to the thing, we were like, yeah, we don't know the number. We don't have the ticket. It's a black Range Rover. And we're like, okay, it was so busy that it was cars in and out. And you could tell they were like stressed, like overwhelmed. And so the guy was like, look, come in here and see if you can find your key. And it's like, so y'all just gonna let us take somebody else's car? Like, that shit was crazy. Yeah, so we lost the car. And
when you say Houston,
so we ended up waiting. We ended up waiting for a long time because we didn't know if we had the ticket, if we left it in the car. We didn't know the number. They couldn't find it. They didn't have time to look for the key. So we were all just kind of like, damn, dog. So while we were waiting, I seen Zaina Bear and I was like, oh my God, can I get a picture with you? Like, my kids love you. Like, I remember my kids talking to me about her, and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm so cool because I got a picture with Zaina Bear. And so I saw her, and then it's funny because as we were waiting for our car, we saw the voice actors from the Boondocks, the ones that did Stink Meaner and Uncle Ruckus. They were coming into the hotel, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I cosplayed the pimp named Slickback yesterday, and they were like, really? Let's see. And so I showed them the pictures of me like as a pimp named Slickback, and they were like, oh, that's so cool. And, we started talking about like, how we were familiar with them and stuff. And I told the guy that does Uncle Ruckus, I was like, I've been watching you since you were the bailiff on Amanda's show. I remember that. And he was like, wow. He was like, that was my first acting gig. And he was like, let me tell you how cheap that show was. And he gave me a little industry tea. And I was like, oh, okay. But he was really cool. Like, yes, he was really cool. And they were all just like super dope and everything. And I forgot Saturday I went to a panel. It was Leland, Berlizzi, and Christine. And they did this panel about like collaboration and stuff like that alongside YouTube.
Ooh,
and that was a really insightful. It was really good.
Okay.
Really, really good. And I think the thing I liked most about it is like you can see that even though, you know, they're clearly like A-listers, the all-stars, the celebrities, you know, top of their game, you could still see where they realize they have room to grow and, you know, different ways to even continue improving on their craft and building their networks and stuff like that with among one another and stuff like that. So that was really cool. It was one girl in there that was being like hella thirsty about Berlin, which was awkward as fuck. Because they did a Q&A. Girl, look. There was like, they had like a Q&A at the end. And this girl was just like, follow me. It's Thicky something on Instagram. And she was like, hey, daddy. And it was like, ugh. This is so awkward. Like, girl, do this in the DMs. This is weird. But yeah. So, but yes, we found our car. We made it to land party. It was a mess. And then we did trap sushi on Sunday, which is, you know, I didn't tell you about meeting Jay Wells, trying to save somebody's life.
Yeah.
So we get upstairs because, mind you, if I see a massive crowd, especially knowing like in Texas, measles is real bad. They got a new variant of COVID. People not wearing masks. And so when I see too many people, I'll be like, all right.
So none of that.
And that crowd was dense downstairs. I saw that crowd. I went straight for the stairs. I was like, there's no way I'm going over there. And so went upstairs and, you know, and started seeing people and stuff. But like, I could hear a little commotion like off to the corner where the door was going outside. And it was like, what's going on? It looked like some people was tussling. So it was like, hold up now before we go over there, like see what's happening. And it was a guy, he was just kind of like, they were like carrying him. He was stumbling and shit. And so everybody was like, oh, he was about to pass out. And I was like, okay, I understand. You know, we drinking is hot, probably not drinking enough water. It was crowded. So I'm like, in my mind, I go into mom medic mode and I'm like, okay, what can we do? Somebody with Keita went to go get him some water. And so I was like, he's probably overheated. So I take my fan and I'm like, and they go over here and just start fanning him like forever. So I'm just fanning this dude. And then Jay Wells comes up and he's giving him water and everybody's like, back up, you know? And so we're trying to fan this dude and get him water and stuff. And then Jay Wells looks and he goes, hey. I'm like, hey. He's like, I'm Jay Wells. I'm like, oh, hey. Like, okay, we just casually over here trying to, you know, make sure this dude doesn't like keel over. And it's like, oh, hey, good. Yeah, nice to meet you. I didn't even know that was you, you know?
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, you know. But yeah, so after that, you know, we took Keith's his bottle. It was so funny because like I know he looked forward to that bottle every year because I took the bottle. We grabbed the card and I took the bottle. And, you know, I gave it to him and he took the bottle. He was like, but what was even funnier was this was Sunday. I think we must have been going to get some food or we were going back to hang out with the guys. And so we were in the car getting ready to pull out of the hotel, right? Because we're just kind of like recapping the whole week. You know, we're slowed down now because it's Sunday. It's the end of the con and we're just kind of like, you know, decompressing now a little bit. Nessa starts driving and something tells me to like lean forward and I see red tips. I was like, bitch, that's Leon. Nessa stopped the car and I had a moment. I was like, what do I do? Fuck that. I'm not going to get this opportunity again. Me and Cindy start trying to get the seatbelts off. I was like, bitch, that's Leon. Trying to take the seatbelts off and I hop out. If the car was still going, I would have probably rolled because like, I didn't even really give Nessa a chance to process what was happening. I was like, bitch, that's Leon. And hopped out the car. And she said it was so funny because me and Cindy had the same reaction. And we were both like struggling to get the seatbelt off. She said the car was just like this.
Y'all rocking the freaking boat.
We were trying to get our seatbelts off. The car was just rocking. And so we hop out the car and I'm like, keep it together, girl. Cause like, mind you, I've been watching him since like his first role, like since he was on Backyardigans, you know, I've been following his career. I didn't watch Victorious because I was then aged out of Nickelodeon by then, but I was familiar with him then too. But it was just like, in that moment, it was like, and no shade to any streamers, like, this is a real celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man is an actor and a singer and a writer and a producer. Like, he really do this. You know what I'm saying?
He really do.
Oh my gosh. So I was so excited to meet him. And I was trying not to look like a crazed fan. Just like walking up like, I know he know we coming. I hope he not disturbed or annoyed, but I'm finna meet this man today. Boy, before I could even get over, Cindy was already out there like this. How you doing? I was like, damn, dog. And so she was like, I need you to make a video for my cousin, Antonisha. Can you say her name instead of that? Because apparently her cousin is like a huge fan. And so, you know, she was just like, bitch, I just met Leon. Like, look, and she sent in the video and I could hear when she was on the phone, her cousin was screaming. Like, oh my gosh, he said my name. I heard him say it. I could read his lips. He said it. And I just like, I introduced myself and I was like, can I get a picture too? You know, we took a picture and I was just like, I was so excited to actually, cause I was like, damn, we didn't even get to see him last year. And we were literally like on Sunday, like, damn, I ain't get to see Leon again. And then we just see him leaving the hotel. It was like, bitch. Ah! So it's like in that moment, it was like, okay, I said, when I collected myself, I was like, oh my gosh, I completely and totally fangirled out in that moment. But I was like, you know what? That's okay. If I was going to waste that, if I was going to have that moment, that was the moment to have it. So it's all good. I'm not even tripping. But when we left, I was like, oh no, this nigga probably think we crazy. We parked the car in the middle of the fucking the little roundabout. You know, you pull into the hotel and pull. We parked that bitch right in the middle. It was like, it's Leon!
And see, I saw him this weekend, last weekend. I don't know. Did you hear that the mayor showed up to Dreamcon?
No.
Yeah, the mayor and the treasurer of Houston both showed up to Dreamcon.
I did see they got a RDC day.
Yeah. I think it also has something to do with that, but they just, because I was in the green room and then they showed up with Leon and they were just like, they were just talking about how I know they was fanning out too. They was trying to keep it together, but they was just like, it's just Leon. They took pictures. I mean, it seemed like they were chill. It seemed like they were chill, but yeah.
No, that's on the inside. That was them on the inside. Like,
on the look, let me tell you something. I be chill with people, but internally, like when I saw Cleo Thomas in 2022, internally, I was freaking out. I'm like, he knows me and wants to talk about Kingdom Hearts. And then like in 2023, and then I saw King Vader, and I'm like, he's a lot bigger than I thought, but he's so cool, and I can't believe we had a conversation. I had that reaction with so many. Inside. Outside is like, oh, hey, how's it going? Inside, you gotta be like that. Yeah, it's like, oh my God.
You don't want to freak people out.
Right. Now, the three people that did, like, I slipped up because I never expected to see them was Christopher London in 2023. And like I said, Tiffy and Cutie Pie Sensei.
Yeah.
I did not expect to meet them. And I'm in Tiffy's Discord, so we've like chatted before, but just like to see her in person and everything. That was I'm about to do it again. I already talked about it. I saw them, I was happy. I was happy. I'm gonna leave it at that. Because again, it's gonna sound weird. And
had a Demon Slayer moment.
I mean, like honestly, and then me and Cutie Pie Sensei's husband too, because you know how she'll have a video and he'll be in the background, just like saying like, stuff. Like, right? It's like, bro, I understand. Believe me, I understand. Okay, but it was great to meet him too, and just like to see the dynamic of the two of them together. But
you know what cracked me up, speaking of that, is seeing the video Zaina made with her boyfriend in the back, and it was like every time she took a picture with it, he was just in the back like this.
Cause
they had me cracking up.
Because people be talking about her, and I saw when I met both of them, they were doing a panel. They were all doing a panel together. And one of the things that Tiffy was asking about was, how do you handle when like viewers or not content creators, but like commenters want to sit up here and like attack you or like say something sucks or something like that. And she specifically wanted to hear about it from Zaina, because people would sit up here and say Zaina's videos are cringe and everything, and then Zaina's community will sit up here and turn around and be like, get that one. Get that one. You don't talk about her like that. And Tiffy was like, she just loves how her community just like comes to the rescue. And it is like, it's like that sometimes. And she was saying like, even when the community comes to your rescue, it's still, you see that comment and it sits with you. That's why it's like, like the whole controversy with the DDG and everything, a lot of people are like, oh, that sucks, they should both be banned. I feel like they both should have been sent home for the day. Because one, DDG should have some thicker skin, but then also, you don't know how much it hurts to hear somebody say that the thing that you put your heart and soul into is just garbage. And people get way too brave since we got this era of the internet and think they can say anything they want. So I agree with that. I'm glad dude got hit in the mouth. I feel like they both should have just been sent home and like, all right, y'all come back tomorrow, get some act right in you.
I seen Cleo. I was too shy to ask. You ain't never got to be shy to ask Cleo for a pic.
Do you know how many people I have to push off to ask Cleo? I mean,
you know what's funny about that? I actually spoke to Cleo for the first time in 22, I think. I think that was like the year actually. Was that the year? Is it 22 or 23? I can't remember. It's all like running together now. But I remember he came and we saw him on the exhibit hall floor. And I was like, hey, look, that's Cleo right there. And he was with Kadeem. And Nessa was cosplaying as Titus from Final Fantasy X. She was like, I want to take a picture. I want to ask him to take a picture, but like, I'm scared to ask him. I was like, just go ask him. And she was like, I'm scared. I said, hey, Cleo. Excuse me. Because at this point, I had like officially introduced myself. Like, hey, Dageecheegamer, because we had interacted on Twitch a couple of times, but never met in person at that point. So I was like, hey, just wanted to officially introduce myself. I'm Dageecheegamer, da-da-da-da-da. And Nessa was like, I want to take a picture, but I'm scared. And I was like, just go ask. And she was like, oh, I'm scared. So I said, hey, Cleo, my sister wanted to know if she could take a picture with you. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, of course. And then Kadeem was like, you're Titus. And Nessa was like, yeah, because like everybody kept calling her Sora. Yes. And look under, go inside there, and it's on the shelf is right there.
Nia, I am also a shy person. I'm also a shy person.
If you don't see it, tell one of the adults to come find it.
Confuse you. I will be in a room full of people, and if I don't know you, I'm not talking to you.
Oh yeah. Look on the shelf on the bottom. Yeah, but like that's, you know, and that's my thing. I'm not shy at all. I'm not scared to talk to anybody. I've just always been like that. And because my thing is like the worst it can be is like an awkward, uncomfortable exchange, and that may sit with me for a while. But it's on the bottom, Corey. That may sit with me for a while, but like I'll get over it eventually, depending on what it is and how awkward it was. Because like I am the type of person too that will internalize something and be like, oh my God, I accidentally called him, you know, I said Clear instead of Cleo, and I don't know if he liked that, so now it's gonna be awkward because I said Clear, and maybe he doesn't like that joke, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't laugh when I said it, so then I'd be like, was that weird? I need to tell him, I hope it wasn't weird. Like that's the type of person I am, but like, you know, I'd rather take the moment and do the awkward thing and then like just be like, okay, we'll talk about it later if that's the case. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of like not doing anything and wondering if you could.
But like, look how far that's gotten me. You know what I'm saying?
Just being able to talk to people.
Not being afraid to ask. You know, I always say like there ain't a shot I won't shoot. You know what I'm saying? If I get shut down, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Whatever is meant for me, I'll have, and whatever isn't will miss me. So if I shoot the shot and I don't get it, it's fine. It was supposed to go that way. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's kind of, you know, what I've gotten to as well. Like even with the video I did with you guys last year, it was one of those things where it's like, it was pretty much like just shoot your shot, just try, and don't be afraid to fail because that's a part of the process. Just get up and keep on going and believe that you can do it. And that was a whole thing for me because while I was making the video, I was like, dang, this video is is trash. It's like the audio is messed up because I have to use this plugin and everybody sounds weird and distorted. And I'm like, I don't know if I got enough like B-roll in it. And I was sitting up here criticizing myself the entire time making the video. But then as I'm listening to it, I'm like, the video itself is telling me don't give up, just try it.
Exactly.
And it's probably, it's my favorite video. It's the best video I feel like, in my opinion, that I've made, just not just because of like the craftsman work, but because I wanted to make something that wasn't just for me, but for everybody that is looking to do something that's too afraid to do it like I am, because I'm afraid to do a lot of things. I still try to do a lot of things though.
You have to. Do it scared.
Yeah, and that was kind of like what that was. And then it's also for me to be in a place where I can talk to these people, like just openly ask, hey, can you do a video? I mean, and they were like, nobody said no. They were like, oh yeah, sure. Like
and if nothing else, that is the absolute best place to ask.
Yes.
It's because let me tell you, once you start trying to slide into DMs and ask for these favors, oh god, that's the most impossible thing ever. Trying to around. Like, you figure when we did the Be With The Bros, right?
Yeah.
It took me like 7 months to put that together because their schedules are so all over the place that I really could not. It was like one person is available, 4 people available, this person's not. So it's like back and forth. And we finally got it done. And then my internet wasn't working. This was literally just over a year ago when I was still in Ghana. And that was the day I decided I needed to do something, because it's like I had this big opportunity in front of me and my internet sold me out, because we did brackets with Cleo the day before. We did the Disney bracket, the Disney villain bracket. Then the day after that, that was the day after. The day before was the Bros Beat, and it just kept cutting out. Like the internet just kept cutting out. And I was so depressed.
I was
cried
like, I can't for you that night. I cried for you that night.
Oh my gosh.
I was sitting up here like, I saw that, and just from me being like, you know, I know how it feels to try and put something together and it just seems like the world is against you. And at that crucial moment, I was sitting up here like, I wanted to sit up here, I wanted to ask how you were doing, but I already knew how you were. I was just
that was the day I decided to leave. I was like, I got to do something because this can't be it. Like, I am onto something here. And I'm like, my breakthrough is right there. And this is stifling me. I have to do something. And so that's when I made the decision to come out here and try to find work and everything, which ended up working out very much in my favor, because from the time I got here, it was opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And it was like, damn, like, this shit couldn't happen before I left, because like we could have been in a very different situation right now. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like everything happens for a reason. So, you know, I try not to have any regrets or anything like that. I try not to, you know, revisit everything and play it again and again and be like, what could I have done differently? Because it's not like I could go back. You know what I'm saying? And then it still worked out because I got to actually fly to Austin and do it with them in person. And that stream was hilarious. That was a good time. And even in that moment, you know, I still see those guys and they're like, when are we going to do something else? And I'm like, shit, which I want to do, you know? So, because like, I didn't even know Rico before that. That was my first time meeting Rico, first time meeting Dante. I've been knew PG Joe in Berlin, you know what I'm saying? And so for that to happen, that to be my first time meeting Rico, our first impression. And then Rico, every time I see him, I saw him at the ball and he was like, hey, when we doing something again? And I'm like, what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all tell me. I'm like, y'all are the superstars. Like, I got to keep up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got to work around y'all schedules. So it was really cool. And I'm glad it worked out like that. And it's also kind of cool too when I see people and they're like, are you coming to the ball? Are you going to be at such and such con? Are you going to do this? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. You know, like, do you guys want to see me there? So,
right. You know, it's like, I got an invitation. Okay.
Right.
No, it is the same. Like Storymodebae wanted me to be in the Bae Brigade, and it wasn't even just her, because I know I keep mentioning that. It was like, I've had several people this past weekend say like, hey, keep in touch. Hey, hit me up. Like, hey, and I'm like, we're at this point now Whereas, like, I still know people that sit up here and fangirl when I post pictures that I saw you at said convention, and you're telling me to hit you up like, hey, you want to do this, we want to do that. So it's like I gotta come up with some streaming games or something to do, because it's like to just like keep in contact, because I don't want it to be like another year of like radio silence, and then we see each other again. So there's a lot of stuff changing with the stream, so something is coming back. I'm gonna try and do the name that tune thing that I did before. I want to do that again. It's just hard. Another thing I learned at this convention too, which was one of the panels that I went to on Sunday, was called "How to Monetize Your Content," which I need because a nigga broke. And and they were talking about how you need to know money. You need to like have an understanding of money. So have like an accountant or a tax guy, learn bookkeeping. And it's like, the funny thing is, I already have a tax guy. I am learning bookkeeping at the moment. So all the stuff they were saying is like, you're on the right track. But one of the things they said is have a team together. And the time to do that is before things pop off. Because when things pop off, it's too late.
That's when the vultures come in.
Right. So
people want to take advantage.
Right. So it's like, at this point, it's like, okay, I'm starting to hear that I need to start putting things together, because something is about to happen. So there you go. I'm like, all right, I need to get a better relationship with money. So even though I don't really have money, I'm kind of less worried, because I feel like something is around the corner. Like something is going to work out. Well,
I'll tell you, like I just told my homeboy the other day, is like, never call yourself broke. You in between blessings right now.
I like that. You're
in between blessings. That's it. Because what you speak is what becomes your reality, and that remains your reality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the whole like manifestation talk and all that stuff, it seems like nonsense. And it's like, yeah, whatever. But there's got to be some truth to it. And especially if you consider how it affects your mindset. Because if you feel defeated, you will be defeated. It's very hard to be in a hole and be looking up like I could just climb out if I had the right tools. But it's like, you got what you got. You know, you don't want to be in that hole. So what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? And you got to figure it out, and it's not easy. It's just like going to the gym, right? It's like, you know what you want your body to look like. Right. And you understand the amount of work that comes into getting to that point. And you got to change your diet. You got to change your diet. You got to drink water. You got to change your habits. You can't just be smoking and drinking all the time and eating junk food and sweets. And you got to torture yourself in the process by lifting weights and pushing through when your muscles are sore, or the days when you're just too tired to get up and go. It's like, do you want this body or not?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got a choice to make. And there's a guy who I took a mentorship from him, and he made a comment about how, people admire people with gym bodies, not just because they look good, because subconsciously, the amount of work that it took to get to that point. And it's like, it's attainable for all of us, but you have to really lock in, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, every year after before my first Dreamcon, that's when I was like, I gotta start posting stuff on YouTube, because I know I'm about to go, these people I've been talking to for 2 years on the internet, when I put myself in front of them, it's one thing to be like, I am Geechee, but it's something else to be like, here's my YouTube channel. I know I ain't posting nothing on here in like 5 months, but this is my channel and this is my Twitch. Yeah, I stream like every other week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got to give them something to find when they go looking for me.
Right.
So that's something else I try to stay on top of. Obviously I'm in a different place right now because I'm working full time. So it's very hard for me to get those edits done and then get it uploaded. I can't tell you, I got videos I've been waiting to be uploaded for like 3 years now. I have so many videos.
Same, girl.
Yeah.
It's...
So, but Dreamcon always my favorite. I say my favorite thing about Dreamcon. But I think my top favorite thing about Dreamcon is the fire that burns in everybody once they have had a chance to experience it on the way out. It's always like, it's almost like magic. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's almost like magic, almost like they're casting spells on us while we're in there that make us believe we can do anything. It's like people who never even wanted to do content creation before. There's always like a wave of people that come out after DreamCon and are like, I'm about to start streaming because they made me feel like I could do this. And it's like more than just
same thing.
Yeah, I had all of my friends that we were kicking it with the whole time. We all started off streaming at the same time, and then niggas just kind of, life happens, and everybody just kind of like fell off. I was the only one that maintained it all the way through. But this was their first time. We've been telling them to go to Dreamcon for years. This was their first year going, and by the time they left, they were like, "Oh, we got to get back on the grind. What have we been doing this whole time?" Like, what? And then the two guys they had with them were like, "I don't even stream. I want to start streaming too. Like, I want to be down. This was so cool." Yeah. And it's so inspirational. It's so motivational. And it's like, I love that aspect of it so much, because it's just like you get a fresh battery every year after the Dreamcon. And it's like, okay, now I know what battery I need to do. A rechargeable one, in fact.
It is a rechargeable, indeed. If you keep your attention on it. And one thing you said about like the manifestation is something that I hadn't really noticed until last year, because like each Dreamcon I've done what I've wanted to do. So like when I went to the one in 2022, I hung with Keats. I didn't hang with Keats the entire time, but I hung with Keats. He was the content creator that was like, that was the top guy for me. I saw Cleo Thomas. I was like, I want to sit up here and I want to meet Cleo Thomas next year. I want to talk to him. Like try and spend some time with him. 2023, chaos happens for everybody else, but for me, I get shoehorned into working with him. And
look at that.
And then he brings me back. So then 2024 is like, yes, I want to do that again. And I got like a couple of my friends in on it. And then
what was it? There you go, Naya.
24. Yeah. And you see, you just take like little steps and everything. And
but you just have to keep building brick by brick, like literally. And like you don't just get a house in one sitting. You gotta piece it together, especially if you want the longevity, because it's a lot of people that shot up real quick during COVID.
They fall just
and
as quick.
You barely hear from them anymore. You barely hear anything about them. They're not really doing anything. They'll still stream from time to time, and they have their same viewer base, which is fine. But you get kind of pigeonholed also. So it's
snap.
If you do want more. Oh my gosh.
Storymodebae. What's up?
Storymodebae.
Speaking of Storymodebae and the Bae Brigade. Because what did I say? You progress higher. My goal for next year, we were right on that conversation. My goal for next year is to be in the Bae Brigade. I could have did it this year.
Hi, girl. We're just recapping Dreamcon. We were just talking about how lit Bae Brigade was this year and everything.
Yes.
And listen. I know ain't nothing set in stone yet. But listen, you gotta let me take Cleo out, man. You gotta give me a chance. You gotta give me another chance to take Cleo out, man.
I want to be up there with him. All right, so let us be on the same team. I love Dageecheegamer.
No.
But we gotta be up there at least once. Cleo is a problem. Yes.
Listen,
yes, he is.
Y'all can clip it and we can ship it, because I want him to know. I feel very strongly about this. I just watched this boy sweep. Like, oh my gosh.
He did. Was it the third year in a row?
This is his third year, I think.
Third year in a row, because he won it last year with what is it? I Write Sons, Not Tragedies.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm still salty. I don't want to talk about it. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my gosh, welcome in, y'all. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Dageecheegamer. I'm a variety streamer. Cleo is a problem, man.
and
this.
Hi, I am Sid, also known as Dual Keyblade Sora, but right now my streamer tag is SidVS_. I am a variety streamer. I was also at Dreamcon, and we're just doing a recap on what we did, and how much fun we had, things that we would like to do next year, and manifesting what you want to do. And
absolutely.
And this is where we're at now. Storymodebae, you put out such banger such great like contests. Like it's always the highlight, and that's not to say that there aren't other great things at DreamCon. But my friend said he wanted to go to a comedy show, and he sat in the Bay Brigade the entire time because he was like, all right, I'm glad I stayed here.
Yeah, man,
because
listen,
it is so lit. Oh my god.
Let me tell you. Hold up, because let me tell you the one thing I did not recover from. I'm still recovering from my knees after Bay Brigade when they played Walk It Out. That was my calling card right there. That was my calling card. Because that song was big when I was like graduating high school. That was my favorite song. That was my favorite song that summer. And rest in peace, DJ Unk. We had this thing in Charleston called Stone Soul Picnic. And they bring all these artists. It's like a big one-day festival concert situation. DJ Unk came to perform, and I was like, all I want to hear is Walk It Out. I don't care about nothing else. I just want to hear Walk It Out. I just need to see him perform Walk It Out, and I'm cool. And I heard the song playing. We were going to get freaking cotton candy or something dumb. And I heard the song playing like way across the field, and I was like, oh, they're playing my song. And I took off running. As soon as I started hitting that little pool palace, it was like, now walk it out. Hey, it was the end of the song. And I was just like, I can't believe I missed the whole song.
Dang.
The whole song. It took everything in me not to stroll during Bay Brigade. I don't know why, because they were strolling.
I'm about to say,
they were strolling.
You could definitely do that.
That was the moment too, for real. Like, and I was that, because I know there was like a HBCU meetup. And that's kind of, for me, that was a new element this year to DreamCon, unless I just missed it before. But I never got to see like that part of it where like people, because obviously when it comes to Greeks, once they find each other, once the right songs start playing, they gonna do what they do. Like, I never seen that before.
But that song, I don't even know what the name of the song was that was at the Bay Brigade, but like whatever sorority it was, they all just immediately line dance. It was so cool. I don't know. I think it was
was it Blow the Whistle?
No, I wasn't Blow the Whistle. I got it on camera too. I got actually
because it was this one dude. Here, Shake That Monkey. Okay, I knew it was one of them. Yeah. Yes.
Because I got a really good shot of it, and even like even Storymodebae was like, "Can you send me that?" Because it was right in the front. They were lit.
Look, no, it's cracking me up. I was, it's funny. You know what would get me every year at DreamCon? I'll pull my phone out and start. Yeah, SG Roll. That's what I thought. SG Roll. I'll pull it. Thank you for the YouTube sub. I will have my camera out and be doing this, and then get home to realize I didn't record shit. Like every year I do this. And so like I was going back, I was like, wait a minute. Because I'm pretty sure I got Cleo on camera at one point.
He did.
I think it was when No Hands started playing.
Yeah, that was another one. When that came up,
oh my god,
they couldn't even get the crowd to be quiet. I'm mad I don't have any footage of that.
So I actually caught that. This is because I remember pointing up and looking, and I think Cleo had finally realized that I was standing down there with my camera. Because not long before that, I heard Bree. She was like, "Is that Geechee?" I was down there losing my mind, just dancing. And somebody even said that to me. A couple people were like, "Girl, I seen you down there dancing." I'm like, I can't help myself. I cannot help it.
I saw you get up like, "That's my song," and just started walking.
Right there.
So I was
trying so hard to contain myself. I was like, I'm gonna just stay here.
This is the footage
I've gotten up enough.
From when they started dancing. For the sake of not blacking out the stream, I'm just gonna show it on the camera. So this is, I don't know, is it blurring?
Oh, yeah, blur. Yeah.
Dang it. Hold on, let me turn the blur off. Can I turn the blur off?
You should be able to.
Let
me see.
Let's see.
I think I caught it from a different angle. Background. Oh yeah, because I got stuck over there because I was like walking through recording.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's a good shot.
All right.
Yeah.
This was without any sort of like rehearsing. They just straight started popping.
Because that's what they do. That's what they do. They know they line dancing. They didn't know they choreography. Because there was one dude that was sitting like behind me, and he kept doing the little Kappa shimmy, and I was like, "Oh, this boy ain't gonna stop till somebody see him," because he did it for a long time,
right,
before it picked up. And so I was like, "Oh," he said, "Y'all gonna see this."
Right.
And so yeah, he was getting it in.
When that was probably the coolest part. And the funny thing is, that wasn't even a song that was picked. That was a song in between songs being picked, and they just went crazy.
Exactly.
So that's the point is, Bay Brigade is lit the entire time. When they pick the
start
songs,
to finish,
it's lit. When the songs are being decided on, is lit.
Okay, so this is my shot of this was what's that song? No Hands. Epilepsy warning, children.
Yes, I sorry, I didn't put that.
And this girl right here, I don't know what she's cosplaying as, but she busts out. This girl right here, she started dancing.
Oh yes.
I saw she made like the actual Dreamcon footage. What's that, Rena?
She did the Cat Daddy? Okay.
She was killing it. She was like, I ain't coming to play with y'all.
Right.
Hey, you gotta show out when you got that many people watching you.
Exactly.
Don't play them up now.
What's up, man? It was great running into you. That's somebody else that I ran into. I think the last 2 years.
Well, yeah. He did Bay Brigade this year. I know. It's got to be. You said that's the homie Unconventions. Look, I think, did I stop it? Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say, but the crowd was still going. The song had done turned off at this point.
I'm trying to see it. Am I in your shot? I'm not in your shot. I'm like, I did good. I wasn't in nobody's camera this year.
Bad for the yellow shirts, because it's like every time you look, it was like, here come the crowd, and I just kind of watched them follow through, and they had to do this right here. They just watch them file in. Yeah, it was fun though.
Another behind the scenes thing with the volunteers. Not all of us, not ours. Okay,
not all of us.
Not all of us were like the actual Dreamcon volunteers. Other people were like contracted volunteers, and some of them were a little bit more strict than we were. So if you ran into a volunteer that was giving you a rough time, it probably was not us. I'm just letting you know, because we
they had one girl at the door. We thought she was gonna let us in, and she was like, nope, you can go stand in the line in that room. It was like, okay, girl.
That's when you start when you send messages, and it's like, it's like, can I get it? No, she's with me. Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to DreamHack. I don't even know when DreamHack is. DreamHack Atlanta? See, I got a regular 9 to 5 now, so I got to be real selective about which and where and how I'm going to these. Let me see. DreamHack Atlanta. DreamHack. Oh, it's Halloween this year. Oh. I typically find myself in Atlanta around that time, so there's a chance I'll be there. Because I swear I was last year. I did DreamHack last year. So, but I believe it was earlier, because that was like my birthday weekend last year. So the cons have shifted out a little bit.
I don't know.
Evo is Vegas, right? I never been to Evo.
I don't know if I'm doing. I don't think I'm doing any other cons this year, honestly, simply because I'm in between blessings, as Geechee said, and DreamCon took being on the time that rent is due and utilities.
Listen.
My bank account,
and a few months earlier than normal this year too.
And a few months earlier, so we didn't have as much time to save up. So my bank account is it would be bleeding if there was anything left in it. I'm literally waiting until later in the week to pay my rent, because I do not have the money in my account right now. I'm waiting for my next paycheck. So that's where I'm at. So I am literally like living paycheck to paycheck and then some. But apparently people tell me I make struggle look good. So this is what we do.
Hey, you wouldn't know. People only know what you show. So
right. So
now DreamCon, I'll say what messed me up was my lodging situation, which I'm still waiting to hear back about that, because they're gonna give me my money back for that place I didn't get to stay in.
Yeah, you definitely.
Before I start leaving, they were like, "Yo, you'll hear back from us in about 6 days. We're gonna reach out to the property." I don't need you to reach out to the property owner. I need you to dispute this.
And you know what's crazy? The same thing happened. Now that you mention that, the exact same thing happened to my friend. when I
there's some scammers out there in Houston. Let me find out.
Apparently it is, because it was the same thing where he was trying to get his like it was an Airbnb or hotel or something, and he sat up here and bought it and was trying to reach out to the lady because she was supposed to like give him information on how to get in, and she just couldn't be found. And just off the face of the earth. So he had to find another place to stay because he's going back and forth with Expedia and the other place. And I ain't gonna get too much into this business. But he's trying to get on the plane, so he can't resolve this in time because he can't talk about it. So he has to get there and then find a place when he gets there. Then ran into issues with getting the car. So it's like, look, Houston is, like I said, Houston does not know how to handle their money or their business.
Houston was ready for us, but we were not ready for Houston. But I'm going to be ready next year. I'm going to be ready next year. I'm going to be ready for Houston next year. They're not going to play with me.
Right. That's
We're not going to have none of these problems. I even said, like we need to start, like, deciding when to Uber, when to drive, because, like, it's nice to drive sometimes, but, like, last day of the con, there was no point in us paying $30 to park.
No.
Like,
I don't
we just didn't need to do that.
I don't ever rent a car.
And we were walking distance from our hotel. We could have got to the hotel in like a 10-minute walk. It just was so hot. And I already know it's about to be in July again.
Yeah.
Woo. All I know is y'all need to be on the lookout for the ticket drop. If you guys are not in the Discord, we do have a Dreamcon prep channel. So we always post like updates about ticket drops. We post about the events that they have that you can get tickets for. And all of that good stuff. So,
and I post stuff on my Instagram. So, like, anytime it's Dreamcon information, I put that up there. It's like, hey, y'all get prepared. And I'm already asking you should come to Dream. I'm asking other content creators, you should come to Dreamcon. This is a dude named Barry Hendricks. He remakes, like, for lack of a better term, that white rock music that we all grew up to. That music that wins the karaoke part of the Bay Brigade. He remakes all that. I message him like, bro, come to Dreamcon. You'll love it. It's just like, I'm just like, hey, just get some people up in here, because it's like, it's like you said, it's one of those places where everybody can just come together and enjoy themselves and be comfortable.
Yeah, for real.
So, like,
for real. Okay, so I'll ask, what would you say this year? What would you say was your biggest takeaway from Dreamcon?
My biggest takeaway, I would say, from Dreamcon is you don't have to go about it alone. Is the networking, the relationships that you've made, take advantage of those, and always have your next step in mind. Because I came, I was complacent with where I was when I came to Dreamcon last year. And I knew what I wanted to do this year. And I came to realize that, like, I've reached the peak of what I can do being a volunteer. I now have to go beyond that. So that's like the next step. I have to go past that to get to what I want to do. And I can't do that alone. But now I see, with the interactions that I've had with people, I know who I can work with, who I can, rely on, who I can collab with, who's willing to collab with me, and just make that work. So it's just kind of like, the big thing is, don't go about it alone. Find you some people that, you can do it with, and whatever step you're at, always have your next step in mind. And once you get there, have the next step in mind, because then that's how you keep growing. And it ain't got to be big steps. You ain't got to sit up here and do leapfrog now. But just have a step on where to go.
Yeah.
What
that's
about
real. For me, I definitely learned I need a camera person. I learned that for sure this year. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely need a camera person. Oh my gosh. I need a film crew at this point. But I think my biggest takeaway this year is that, while it's okay to remain humble and stay grounded, it's okay to also accept that it's okay to revel in the progress that you've made and celebrate yourself and the things that you have done, because there's a lot of people who see me and recognize me as like the first year I went to Dreamcon 2022. You know, my biggest thing has always been, even until now, is like, I'm here to put on for Black girls. I'm representing Black women in this space. You know, that's all I want to do. Mm-hmm. And I had so many women come to me. I had a couple women coming to me in the first year, and they're like, oh my God, Geechee, you're so inspirational. I thank you for everything that you do for us. And I thank you for representing us, you know, and stuff like that. You make me feel seen, make me feel like I could do this, you know, stuff like that. And I didn't expect that, because this was 2022. I didn't know, nobody knew who I was, you know what I'm saying? And this was like literally the last day. I was just kind of floating. We were floating around with Keats that whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he was the celebrity to me. And so for people coming to me, like, can I take a picture? You know, they're saying all these things. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that I had made any kind of impact at all. And then fast forward to this year, it's the same thing. And then we pack out the room for the Dageecheegamer, which I think this room this year held about 400 or 500 people. You know what I'm saying? So it was big, and we filled it. There was like standing room only at one point. One guy that actually knows me from Charleston hit my sister up. I was like, yeah, I wanted to come, but the line was so long. And I was like, my line was long? Okay. You know, and so like things like that. And, you know, people recognizing the work and acknowledging the work that I've put in, but me just kind of taking a moment to not be so humble as to where I can't celebrate that, because it's like, this is what I've been working towards. And it's easy to kind of like sell yourself short when you realize what your ultimate goal is, and you pay attention to how far you have to go to reach it. But you kind of forget about all of the steps that it took to get to where you are. And it's like, this moment here where I'm sitting right now is also a moment that I prayed for a couple years ago. So it's like, I have to be happy with this right here too. I can still keep the mission in mind. But, you know, I still got to, you know, give myself my props. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is my 3rd year in a row doing a Dageecheegamer. This is the biggest room we've ever done it in before. And so many people have been interested in it. I had people, you know, that, again, like Cleo last year, when I got Cleo to do it, he was going to do it the year before, but he couldn't because of, you know, logistics and stuff and scheduling. Chaos, yeah. You know, that was like the last minute, but even he popped in, you know, you guys came and popped in. But then last year it was like, hey, you still want to do it? And he was like, absolutely, just let me get my schedule. And he was like, he was very impressed, and he really wanted to be a part of it, you know? And it's like that for a lot of people that I look up to in the creator space. A lot of them are constantly like, yo, like, I want to be down, like, you know? So that's a good feeling to know that something that I created from nothing, just a thought, you know, a concept, has become something so sensational that a lot of people want to be a part of it. A lot of people want to witness it for themselves, and it just gets bigger and bigger each year. And now this year, I've got so many people rooting for me to go to main stage next year. And I saw main stage from year one, but, you know, obviously I had to prove myself to get to that point for sure. But now it's like, it's well within reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something, obviously I'd have to see it for myself, but I didn't realize, you know, we were this close to it. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's like, I just have to, the takeaway this year was I belong here, and, you know, I just got to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm on the right track.
That's good. Yeah, I see that. Because I feel like you've been there for a minute, but, you know,
I've been grinding, man.
You have, because you'll be sitting up here doing stuff and, like, you know, doing your streams and everything, and then next thing you know, oh, doing the thing with Cleo Thomas. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, I got some bros doing the Dageecheegamer. I'm like, oh,
right. That's
okay. right.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling. Yeah, I'm very pleased with myself. Yeah. And it's funny too, because it's very easy to judge yourself harshly because you see what's possible and that you haven't gotten there yet. And you're like, damn, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, for me, even like somebody came in a couple weeks ago to my stream and they're like, oh, it's only 30 people in here. And it's like,
only?
First of all, this is my 30 people, okay? These are the people that be in here regularly, consistently, and religiously. So don't do that. And like, that was the thing a long time ago. It's like, don't watch the count, right? So I never pay attention to how many people are in here at any point in time. But yeah, I was just kind of like, that would stink.
and see, that's something that I also need to do, because I do look at numbers a lot. And I guess that's another thing that was a bit of a takeaway for me, because I'm not trying to be like someone with like tens of thousands of people. That's not where I'm at. If I can get 10 people to come to my stream every single time I sit up here and hit this live button, I will be one happy camper. I do not need thousands of people sitting up in here, but it's like, even with me, I've been doing this for several years. I don't have anywhere near as many followers as like you guys do. Only had like one hype train since I've started streaming. And it's just like a lot that would get to me at times. But then when I go into like the spaces and everything, it's like these people like know who I am. So it really is like, it's not really just a numbers game. It's also like the connections that you make. So, cause it's like, I don't have that many followers, but then also the people that have like, 100 times more followers than me know me by name and walk up to me when I walk in the room.
Yeah.
So it's like also knowing like, not necessarily, I'm that guy, but also like the numbers don't show everything.
You know what? You know what Sydney told me a long time ago? She was like, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. And that's real.
Yes.
Because, and it's, a big thing over the years too, is impact over numbers. Because it's like, sure. I mean, I guess you have to decide what you want out of it too, because if you're looking to just gain a big following and that's all you want out of it, then, I mean, you can work towards that, but then what? I feel like that's an empty goal. That's an empty objective. You know what I'm saying? Because, those people can come and go whenever they want. But for me, it's more about what do these people feel and what was their experience like when they come into my stream. 10,000 people could be in here right now and they could be bored out of their mind. They could be like, I don't like this girl's energy at all. I think she's corny. I don't think she's entertaining, or 10 people can be in here and be like, oh my gosh, I had such a good time. She's so engaging. I had so much fun. I felt so welcome. I felt like I belonged here. I felt seen. You know what I'm saying? It makes a huge difference. And then, just because you got the numbers don't mean you're going to do nothing with it. People can see that you got 10,000 followers, but them conversion rates matter. Yeah. So when it comes like to brand deals and stuff like that too, like they want to know that, you're going to sell their product. So it's not really necessarily about, who has the most people, because those people, depending on who you are, that doesn't really matter. They want to know what you can do.
I think Tiffy was talking about that at the panel too, where it's like, they would rather have like somebody with a good or consistent following. Like the numbers aren't as important as like, okay, how do these followers interact with you, or what are they? What are what do they do? What energy do you bring? And can our product mesh with that?
Right.
And it's a lot more of that than like, oh, well, do you have 10 million people on you? It's like, no, it's more so do you have like people that are consistent, people that it's like having people that can like stay rocking with you instead of having the big number. Because a lot of people have big numbers nowadays. A lot of them do.
Yep.
But they don't have the personality to just keep people in that space or in that corner, you know?
Or even to be able to sway them to do anything. You
that
know
too.
What I'm saying? They're just present to be present and nothing more.
Yeah.
So there's that too. Or it's like, I just really happen to like this game you playing and anybody else streaming it right now, so I'm gonna watch you.
And I get a lot of that. I'll play a nuanced game and have a new person come in. It's like, oh my God, I love this game. And then once I stop playing the game, I never see him again.
It'd be like that. And that's okay. That's okay too. You know what I'm saying? The people who are meant to find you will find you. And they'll be around. But it's almost 11 p.m. here in the East Coast.
It's been 2.5 hours.
We're kicking it.
We've been kicking it for quite a minute. But thank you for joining me on this recap as we talked about
of course
a bunch of things, DreamCon. And I hope anybody else out there that was watching is encouraged to go, because it truly is a great time. It really is. And
it's life-changing.
It is. And maybe you will run into one of us. Because although we may not be the people that you are coming like to see specifically, we definitely will be the people that you would like to see when we're there.
Yeah, and just make sure you look up, because I am 5'7" 3/4". So, you want to make sure you don't miss me. So yes, there's that.
Where my stickers at? My stickers ain't over here. Okay. I'm gonna find me that sticker. I know Geechee's real height. You don't see us doing a line dance somewhere. Yeah, if Geechee
That's a
starts
fact.
one, and if I'm not, working or anything, I'll probably be wandering around trying to do a line dance because I like a line dance. I can't dance, but a line dance.
Listen, I love me a line dance now.
Y'all throw that Cupid shuffle, that wobble, the turbo shuffle. I do all that.
And see, you name it extra stuff now. Hemi boots on the ground, and that's that.
The way Coolest Mama, every time that came on.
Boots on the ground?
23. Every time Boots on the Ground came, she did it at the R&B party. She did it at Dreamcon. Every time she heard that song, which I believe was 5 times.
That is so funny.
She was like, "That's my song," and she would just start doing the dance.
I should have gave her a fan, man. Dang, I didn't know. I only had 10 fans too, so them fans was expensive.
Dang.
But I'm about to start selling them because people want them. People been asking for them, so I have to do that. Yep. Looking forward to seeing you backstage at the ball again. I hope I can do it. I hope I can make it.
I hope I can go to the ball because it is like a mini Dreamcon thing too.
No, it's nice. I had a really good time last year, but that's a combo for another stream. We're gonna have to do that one too.
It is.